Terrace, Walkley Heights a crash there, Walkley's Road to Green Junction Road, and Paradise Urgent Electrical Works, Lower North East Road near Darley Road. Camera, Blacks Road, Gillis Plains. Test drive and buy a Mahindra SUV and get a complimentary fuel card up to $5,000. Varies by model, only available at participating dealers. T's and C's at mahindra.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A shower or two this afternoon. Cloudy tomorrow, 18. Friday, showers increasing 19. Showers and 17 on Saturday. Right now, it's 17 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Braglis. Tonight, we're on the ground with police in the state's mid-north. The latest on their fresh search for Gus Lamont. Delaying diabetes. The breakthrough 100 years in the making. See the bold plans for NASA's permanent moon base and the missing ingredient that could be making your kids grumpy and tired. The warning signs for parents. 9 News. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. Adelaide's only local sports show, the 5AA Sports Show.
Coming up, new names land from the mid-season draft. Port Xavier Bammett's with us. We discuss the impact on our state league with Matt Doldig. Kevin Sheedy speaks after a huge few days for Essendon. And where are they now with Tony Hall?
Rowie and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, hello and welcome to a magnificent Wednesday. Yes, unfortunately, we do have an outer scratching. A few of you predicted it on the text messages last night. S. Rowe is out a scratching. Has got that scratchy throat, actually. So, Scott Campriali, welcome.
Thank you. Got picked up in the mid-season draft.
Yes, well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll talk
Good
a
to be
little bit
here.
about that in a minute. But yes, well done.
I can play anywhere, sort of half back, half forward.
Play me on the wing on
yeah,
tricky.
run
Yeah.
up and down.
That's Rowie's favourite line, isn't it? Ah, beautiful stuff. Talking the mid-season draft, look, a lot of players got picked up. We found out last night that the Woodville West Torrens Football Club will lose 3 players. And I think from that perspective, if you're the head coach, which Sauce Jacobs is, you'd be pretty, what would you say, devastated, I reckon.
Well, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Bittersweet, 'cause
bittersweet.
you're happy for the lad.
Absolutely, because ultimately that's, they've still got ambition, some of those guys, haven't they, in terms of wanting to play at the highest level, and you give them that opportunity. But you're right, it always comes at a cost at the top teams, because generally they're the ones that have been playing well, haven't they, over the period. I remember Glenelg a couple of years ago, same thing happened to them. They lost Oscar Adams in a pretty important year.
Correct.
Harry Ram last year as well. So, yeah, it's a difficult task for SANFL coaches and, of course, VFL and Waffle teams as well. But
Correct.
the Waffle haven't had anyone taken out of the mid-season draft this year, so it was really out of the VFL and the SANFL this year.
Yeah, which 3 out of 1 club is,
and they're
when
all
you think about that, is
and the
quite
one
phenomenal.
area too, pretty much. Most of them are defenders.
Yeah.
From Eagles' point of view,
having good seasons there, and unfortunately, the victim of that is the footy club, Woodville West Torrens. So North Adelaide as well, 2. Now, I watched them against Norwood, and they ill afford to lose players and depth. And of course, Ollie Franco, Josh's lad, has had an unbelievable start this year. Unfortunately, was injured on the weekend, but was named the state squad and the like because of his form, and has been really good. So he gets picked up by the West Coast Eagles at number 3. So they're very impressed with him. And then they lose their key ruckman in Alex Van Wyck. So now Port Adelaide picked him up. So we'll just have a listen to Alex now on being selected.
I only found out yesterday around 11 o'clock, I think, but kept it a pretty big secret. Didn't tell anyone. North giving me the opportunity to move over, play his first ruck there. So I think just take it one step at a time, settle in, and then, just build up skills, craft, all that.
Yes, so, and I've got to say, I watched him on the weekend, and I haven't watched him at every game, but there's work to do. I saw him try and go inside on a 45-degree angle about 3 times, and I reckon he missed every target. So you're going to really have to work hard. Now, I understand Soldo is out for the year and has retired, so they needed to find a tall probably to ruck. They're going to try Visentini, no doubt, again in the side to see if he can continue to develop. But Alex has got a lot of work in front of him.
Yeah, and I think from a list management point of view, having been involved in that, Timmy, I reckon you need 3 anyway, because you don't know what's going to happen with an AFL, and you might decide with a new rule too, and then you need 1 at the sample level to keep developing. And often it always happens. You develop these guys and then they get sick and tired of being the second banana, and then they develop really well, and then they normally get picked up around that sort of 24, 25 age, and then they go on and play pretty well. But yeah, I haven't seen him play, but obviously, they see something in terms of development that might be in 12 months or 24 months' time.
Yeah. Well, the other lad they picked up was Xavier Bannett. Now, he's going to come on the show, so we'll speak to him and interview him. So that'll be around about 4:30, just after the headlines there, and we'll have a chat to him about him. You actually saw him play and didn't realise you were watching him.
No, I didn't. I was happened to be over there watching my boys play against North Melbourne's VFL team, and he was playing there, and he was buzzing around, and I'm there going, geez, this kid goes all right.
Yeah.
I
think it's a good thing that he's impressed you and you weren't even looking for him.
Yeah, well, he's in the forward line. It was down there a bit that day, unfortunately, for Carlton. But, yeah, he looked dynamic. Good footy sense and can take a mark, and he's pretty hard at it as well. So
yeah, he's a left footer. Is he classic of go to the right and then fame back? Or
he's got a little bit of sideways movement in him, absolutely. And his partner happens to be Sophie McKay, the daughter of the great Andrew McKay.
Really?
Yeah.
Premiership teammate, of course, yeah. Wow.
So now they're both in the AFL. One at Carlton.
Yeah.
Soph's playing at Carlton with her sister, Abby.
Yeah.
And now he's making his mark over here for Port Adelaide. So well done.
There you go. Wow. You get really good info out of this guy. I'll tell you what, you just got to dig in. It's fantastic. And the Adelaide Crows picked up Hugo Hall-Kahan. So apparently he was on the Swans list originally and then came off of that. He's 22 years of age, running defender. Looks a size. Size-wise, he looks pretty good. So running defender, is that what you would have thought they would have been looking for, or is it just Hugo himself that they were interested in?
Don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't like commenting on people that I haven't seen because I haven't seen him play. No. But if you look at purely from a positional point of view, I would have thought they would have probably got enough in there, unless they're perhaps pre-planning that he might not be there in the draft, and perhaps with Rory Laird moving on, in the future, maybe they're looking for something there. Maybe they've got bigger picture for Wayne Miller. Does he potentially have a burst through the midfield from that perspective? I'm not sure, but there might be some questions around that. Yeah. But, I would have thought they would have gone maybe a midfielder.
Okay, the Essendon fallout. We know that Brad Scott was removed as coach. All the footy shows were on last night, of course. 7 with agendas and agenda setters, and then footy classified on 9 as well. So Brad Scott was on 7 and James Hird was on 9. So have a listen to both these guys.
Were you blindsided by this?
Oh, I suppose I was, yeah. I've been really well supported over a long period of time with the plan that we put in place. All the key people were part of that plan, and it felt like business as usual to me, that we'd clearly articulated the risks going into this season and the difficulties we may face, but we believe in the plan, and I still believe in the plan. I'm committed to seeing it through. It was surprising, but it's, in a way, I've been in this industry for a long time, it's not surprising because pressure does strange things.
Do you want to be the coach of the Essendon Football Club?
Things have changed and the club has gone to the position where they've won one game in 27. Hasn't been performing well, and that's distressing for me because I've loved being part of that football club and being part of the journey. So the most important thing for me is for them to go through the most exhaustive process possible to find the best person to be the coach of the Essendon Football Club. If the club came to me and said, would you be part of that process? I would definitely say yes. Pit my wares against the other coaches and see off the best man for the job. And if I'm the best man for the job, yes, I would love to do that job. But if I'm not, choose the best man and let's go forward with this club and make it the best club in the AFL again.
Well, thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals. Who better to talk to than the man himself, Mr. Essendon. Kevin Sheedy, welcome.
Hi, gentlemen.
Sheeds, how have we got to this? Essendon, one win. You had a recent stint as a board member. Maybe you got a bit of insight as to why we've ended up where we are today?
Well, look, as you know, I voted probably for her last time 4 years ago, and I don't think we've moved much further in 4 years, to be honest. So I don't know whether you could sort that out in your own thinking, but no, I just don't think Essendon would be happy to be where they are.
No. What do they do now? Do they go through the exhaustive search or just simply appoint James Hurd?
No, I think Hurd spoke very well. I thought he said, just get a better man for the job, and that's the way it is, as long as the club gets better than where we are. And every club's gone through it.
Yeah, Sheeds, it's Campo here. So what next? If it's not, let's take James Hurd out of it, what type of coach do you think that Essendon need?
Person can shape a club to get into a winning vein because, our last, the amount of times we've been in the finals, we've been beaten and smashed a lot. If we've been in the finals maybe 5 or 6 times, I think the average loss is 9 goals. And we haven't been anywhere near looking like winning a final for over a decade, let alone being in the finals. I think the type of coach you've got to get is the person who is passionate to get Essendon into it. I'm not quite sure whether some of the clubs, Essendon in particular, have appointed coaches that are passionate about Essendon Footy Club. It's like Mark Williams was the right person for Port Adelaide, and they haven't won a premiership since, have they?
No, that's true. And from a list strategy point of view, Sheeds, were you on board with the plan that they implemented, a couple of years ago in terms of the turnover with list and playing youth?
No. I don't think you had to go all the way down to come back up again. Yep. To me, I think there's enough players. We've cleared that many good players that are very good footballers. D'Ambrosio, Sam Draper, look at Patrick Boss is killing him over in West Australia. Never got one game at Essendon, so I just can't work that out personally. I mean, you just got to make sure you play every kid that you could. And here he has done a marvellous job over there, and we had him on our list for about 2 years. Never got one game. So, what are we doing, and what are we doing wrong, and what are we doing that we need to do?
The Zach Merritt one seemed to sort of raise its head in discussions last night, Kevin. What would you have done at the time, and what would you do now?
Look, I'm not in the club in that situation. Zach's been a great player for us. But what happened in the early days, and we tend to forget about that, they had a 10-year rule in the 1970s, and anybody that played 10 years could leave their club. But particularly Wade and John Rantell, who's the back pocket of the century. Barry Davis got promised the captaincy at North Melbourne, and he took it. And then that's how North Melbourne won their first 2 premierships. So when players have devoted themselves for a decade or more at a club, and Zach's coach won 6 best appearances, they have the right they have a right to sort of consider where they're going. His problem was he had to sign a contract. When you sign a contract, it's very difficult.
When you walked into Essendon, I've spoken to you before about this, Kevin, and when you walked in, I mean, the Essendon Football Club weren't travelling well then. What were the initial things that you said we got to get on top of?
Recruiting.
Right. Yeah. First of all.
Well, I cleared 20 players in the first 2 years.
Yeah. Right.
And we won 16-day games and 5 night games that year, 21 games, and we didn't get the double chance. Unfortunately, we're probably the only team in the history of the AFL that's won 16 wins twice and never got a double chance. But that's how tough footy is, Yeah. Very tough.
But
tough game.
First thing first is get the people who want to play.
Yeah, of course. And get the people that can actually pick the ones that want to play.
Yeah,
so
right.
You can't do it by yourself. And I mean, my assistant coaches have been fantastic, I had Choco, Mark Williams was a great coach. Dennis Pagan, fantastic coach. Neil Danaher, God, what a coach. Kevin, Mark Harvey, Bomber Thompson. I can't complain about any of the coaches I have because they never had jobs when I got them.
Yeah. Speaking
of that, that's what I mean. You've got to go and source the best people who can help you become a top club and a top coach in a top club.
No doubt. You mentioned Neil, sad passing, and wow, what an amazing journey for him off the field and what he did to raise so much money to fight the beast. And we said on Monday that he absolutely, he didn't lose his battle. He smashed the battle. He destroyed.
Oh, of course he did.
He was incredible.
Yeah,
and
marvellous person.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
I was going to say, Kev, you've been involved in a lot of firsts, but the all four brothers playing together, I think it was 1990, when they all went out together. It was one of the special moments of footy where I don't think it ever happened before, and it hasn't happened since. So that day, how did you get it to happen? How did you get them all four to be ready at the same time?
Yeah. Well, you had to get Neil up and believe in him. I mean, he had 3 knee reconstructions, but everybody said you're wasting your time. But we didn't. He actually played again, and he played very well in that year. Played quite well.
Yeah.
And then I thought, he said, well, he missed the grand final that we played and got beaten by Collingwood, and he thought, well, it might be my time to go and try coaching. And eventually, in the end, he got the Melbourne job and did a marvellous job with them.
Oh, he was incredible, wasn't he? 223 games I saw the other day as coach. Probably would have taken a fair bit of you with him into that role. But having read his book and the family story, it's just incredible, Kev. How I think he went to boarding school at 11 years of age.
Yeah, well, he went to Assumption as well, and Ray Carroll, the coach up there, thought he was a sensational cricketer, which he was.
Yeah. And he played rugby union as well.
They all played that because their dad played rugby union, and they loved AFL.
Yeah.
So he pushed his boys towards AFL. And then the other 7 sisters, they could have probably been there anyway. So there's 11 of them running around. It's like a rabbit hole. It's like a rabbit hole up there when you went to meet them.
What an amazing story! But his legacy is going to go on, and this fundraising for Fight MND has just been outstanding. I don't think anybody at first he just wanted to raise awareness, and now he's raised 141 million.
Yeah, something like that. He's a freaky sort of guy, and I think next 2 weeks we should make this next one Neil Danaher's birthday.
Yeah.
Have a party. Have a party for Neil, eh?
Yeah. No, it's spot on, Sheeds. Hey, mate, appreciate your time and reminiscing there on that, and give us your thoughts on the Bombers. Really appreciate it.
All right. Cheers to everybody in South Australia. Been a fantastic state for myself and my family every time we come over. Thanks a lot.
Good on you, Kev. That's Kevin Sheedy, Essendon legend and, Richmond legend as well. I think he's in the Hall of Fame there as well. So
Pretty
just
good.
Goes on and on. You were coached by Sheeds at the end there, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah.
It was a privilege.
Yeah.
I've been lucky because I've been coached against under David Parkin, Dennis Pagan and Kevin Sheedy.
Yeah.
Wow. So during that time, 3 Hall of Fame coaches really that had great success.
There you go.
Might get your insights on Essendon Campo at some stage since you've been around the footy club in the past. We'll ask you in the during the program, and get your calls on the air too, 8223 0000. And when you're after that special drop, trust your pals to have it. Parafoot Airport, liquor home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals. It's 21 after 4.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. From the coast to the outback, if you're planning a road trip, Ned McHenry will help you get there. Join Ned every Thursday at 11 a.m. with Graham Goodies for On the Road with Ned. Thanks to Travel Auctions. Dreaming of a bargain holiday? Bid the price you want to pay. Travelauctions.com.au. Bid, win, go.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here on 7 News, live to the Mid-North for the latest on the search for Gus Lamont. Police swooped on a cyclist with a tennis racket in Adelaide's north. And Alistair Clarkson's in Adelaide. We reveal who he's here to see.
Oh, it happened so fast. I stepped out of the shower onto the wet tiles and my feet went right out from under me. Hit the floor hard. I couldn't get up or reach the phone. And after several hours, my son finally stopped by and found me. It was really frightening.
For thousands of Australians, help arrives too late. Care Alert personal alarms mean one press of a button and help is on its way, day or night. Visit carealert.com.au. Care Alert, because seconds matter.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Auction remains one of the strongest ways to sell in Adelaide, with buyer demand continuing to outpace supply and competition driving results. At Toop and Toop, we consistently deliver auction clearance rates above the state average, giving our clients a clear advantage in today's market. That success comes down to strategy, experience, and having South Australia's most awarded auctioneering team behind you. If you're considering selling, visit toop.com.au.
Planning your next event? Choose a venue where everything comes together. Adelaide Convention Centre. It's where your vision and our expertise come together, where creative cuisine meets extraordinary productions and excitement and innovation combine in a space that is truly world-class. From corporate gatherings to grand celebrations, we make every occasion unforgettable. Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre and start planning your next event today.
There's one hybrid with an engine so smooth, you could play a vinyl record on top of it. In fact, that's what you're listening to right now. This record is being played smoothly on top of a Honda CR-V, all without skipping a beat. And if you think that's smooth, get this. Visit Formula Honda now and make the Honda CR-V yours from just $49,900. The new Honda Hybrid CR-V from Formula Honda. Smooth sailing. T's and C's apply.
Built like a brick house. Tough as nails. That's Basic Trailers for you. This EOFIS, use code 5AA to drive away with Rego for just $1. Made with 100% Australian steel in Adelaide. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
Our first big deadline is Midnight Friday. Win $500,000. Get your Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery tickets now to automatically enter the early bird draw for $500,000. Homelottery.com.au. Plus, your tickets stay in for the West Beach Grand Prize, a single-level stunner right on the beach. Early bird deadline, Midnight Friday. Get your tickets at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14944.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
With Rowie out today, Campo sitting in the chair at 25 minutes after 4. Port Adelaide supporters very shortly. Xavier Bammett, who's been picked up in the mid-season draft, will join us at 4:30, and we're taking your calls on 8223 0000. $50 Powers voucher up for grabs. We'll check traffic before your calls.
Afternoon, got big delays due to a house fire at Rosewater at the moment. Road closures to Grand Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. Crash at Walkley Heights, look out for on the drive home. Walkley's Road at Grand Junction Road, and urgent electrical works at Paradise the Savo, Lower North East Road near Darley Road. Got an active camera right now, Barton East Terrace at North Adelaide. Get the key to reserve at My Car Tire and Auto. Visit mycar.com.au or call 13 13 28. My Car Tire and Auto, people first. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Yeah, taking your calls, 8223 0000. Keep your texts rolling in. We'll get to a few of those. Dave at North Home. G'day, Dave.
Timmy, how you doing, mate?
All right, buddy.
Listen, I'm not enjoying watching the football this year at all, yeah?
Okay.
But, call me a liar or pick me out. What I've been saying to you guys for the last few years, I've been saying it all the time, and you know I have. I said if Butters and Francis don't fire, none of the rest of the team won't fire because they're relying on them, yeah?
Yep.
Kari comes out the other day and says the same thing, what I've been saying for years, yeah?
Yep.
And this has been going on for 2-3 years. They just bludgers, the biggest bludgers you've ever seen, and they just want someone to half them up downhill skiers. Now, I said to you also, a couple of years ago or whatever, I said, as soon as Dixon left, I said, Marshall, Lukosius, Lord won't sit under the ball. I said, they'll have to lead somewhere, yeah? Because, and, as you know, George Yardley leads to the pockets, way in the pockets, which is a 10% chances of kicking a goal because they're too small and not tall enough, not strong enough to stay in the contest. We got rid of Finlayson for the same reason. He would not feel a body. He jumped out the way, things like that. Now, the same players keep letting you down. The Burgoynes, the Burn-Jones, the Wines. Now we've got Moraes. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like he's escaped from a mental home somewhere running around.
No,
sorry,
can't have that, Dave.
Can't talk about that. Look, I know where you're going. It's about being competitive, and we spoke about it with Luke Webster Monday, and I think you were out there, Campo, waiting, and I said, I want you to write a note in their locker and say, if you're not going to be a competitor, then you're not welcome. And that's pretty much what Dave's saying. He wants competitive effort. He wants people to put their bodies on the line. He wants them to back and show courage and the like, and just show that it means more to you than it does to them.
Why don't you think that happens now, Timmy? Why do you think it happened when we played? And you played a little bit before me as well in terms of senior footy, compared to what it is now. Why do you think that's...
I reckon there's an outdoor in that it's all about the structure and the way we want to play, and I think they come up with their plans and all this. You know what? Sometimes the chessboard doesn't always move in the right direction. Sometimes the chessboard gets slapped. And I reckon sometimes you just got to do something that's just raw and show that raw ability, physicality and the like, to show that it means something to you. And nothing can be perfect as far as play goes, especially in our game, which is 360. I think at times you just got to show that you really want it more than the opposition.
Does it take a leader, though, to step up and do those things?
I don't think you could see any better than what Zach Butters is doing on the field at the moment. So, you know, there's guys doing that. It's left to too few, and that's Dave's frustration. It's a lot of the Port Adelaide people's frustration. It was Josh's frustration that he let go in the post-game. So...
Yeah, and I also reckon too, Timmy, part of it is, and you know I'm big on this, selection integrity is important. To put the Bunsen burner on the guys that are just
correct,
you know, that are just going or haven't performed. And I used to live by, you know, never play two bad ones in a row.
No.
Like,
because they come for you.
Well, one, you become vulnerable, but two, that doesn't help the team.
Nah.
You know, if you're at that stature in the team. And so, yeah, I understand that. And I remember I used to do it with the midfield group. I used to write it on the top of it, you know, when you do a presentation all the time. And you hope that it seeks in, you know, subconsciously when you're doing it. And I used to have adapt, adjust and improvise.
Yeah.
Because the game is not perfect.
No.
So sometimes you've just got to try and understand what we're trying to achieve and still play within those parameters. But I agree with you. I think we're so hell-bent on roles now, and there's so many players that get games because they're role players versus guys that actually play the game on its merits.
Like that. Said we get to a couple of texts because there was lots flying through during the Sheedy interview, which was great. One here from Timmy, we know's a mad North Melbourne man, just said, I'd like to know your thoughts on Clarko having lunch with Butters. And you know I'm mad Port Adelaide Tim, of course, but if it was my club, I'd be saying, well, that's smart. I mean, if you're...
It's the world we live in now.
If you want to be in the race, well, you got to...
Be at the front of the queue.
You've got to show your interest, and absolutely force yourself up the front of the queue. So,
well, the thing is with all that, you've got to be 12 months out with that stuff as well, though.
We'll take more of your calls and get more of your unique homestyle food texts shortly. Port Adelaide's Xavier Bammett is going to join us after the 4:30 headlines. Get involved, 8223 0000.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the news headlines. A Rosewater woman has lost her home of 30 years after a large fire at the property. Changes are on the way for the job seeker system. NASA has unveiled its plans for a moon base. And in sport, New South Wales and Queensland meet in the 2026 State of Origin Series opener in Sydney tonight. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Rosewater, house fire causing big delays and road closures. Green Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. Walkley Heights, a crash there. Walkley's Road at Green Junction Road and Paradise. Urgent electrical works on Lower North East Road near Darley Road. Camera to Kettleville Terrace in the Parklands. Fernwood women aren't just strong, they're strong to the core. Join this May and get 2 weeks of Reformer Pilates included. Ends Sunday. Visit fernwoodfitness.com.au. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 11 tonight, cloudy tomorrow 18. Right now it's 17 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The ICE Prize, what they should do, when they come back at the airport, they should also hand out how to vote cards for One Nation.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
They effectively are, every time that one flies in.
5AA Breakfast.
What are you actually doing here? You know, there's just zero values overlap at all.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Their passport should come in a little glass box that says in case of emergency break glass, because that's what we're dealing with here.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Last September, the Optus 000 outage meant some Australians couldn't reach emergency services. We want you to know that we're introducing new measures to strengthen Optus's 000 service, including a dedicated team for 24/7 monitoring, expanding automated call testing, and improved escalation processes to identify issues faster. We're also working with other telcos, phone manufacturers and government to further improve 000 for everyone. Building a stronger Optus? We're on it.
Hey, I'm James, Claims Manager at Allianz. From a cracked windscreen to getting your business back after the worst, our team is always here. It doesn't have to wait till morning. We provide 24/7 claims support.
Allianz.
If you need to move from A to B this autumn, your best move is hiring from Budget Car and Truck Rental.
Well, that's true, and when you want to get started, they'll give you boxes, they'll give you the tape for storage and these beautiful covers to make sure everything arrives in a pristine condition. Budget has you sorted.
Yeah, then all you need is the perfect set of wheels, and Budget has them all. Cars big and small, moving vans and trucks available on standard driver's licence, plus utes, hybrids, trailers, 12 to 25-seater buses and much more.
Now, once you've grabbed that vehicle of choice, grab Budget's blankets, trolleys, boxes, storage, tape, you name it, everything goes smooth.
Yeah, job done easy with Budget, Timmy. A family-owned business with friendly staff you can count on, and there's multiple locations across South Australia.
You got something big to budge? Or budget with a Budget rental truck. Call 13 27 27.
When you're gone, who gets the things that matter most? Like the family business that must go on to support the next generation and the one after that. If you don't plan now, it could get messy. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
The things you value deserve the best protection. Your car, your tools, your weekend projects. Alpha Industries garages and sheds will keep them safe from rain, hail and the harsh Australian sun. Made from genuine Australian blue scope steel and fully welded for strength and durability, built with you in mind. South Australian owned and operated for over 40 years, Alpha Industries builds garages and sheds that work as hard as you do. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. Jimmy Bartell to join us at 5 o'clock. Lots happening this week in the footy world. He'll cover it all off for us. And we have Where Are They Now with Tony Hall at 5:30, taking more of your calls on 8223 0000.
Well, in the mid-season draft last night with pick 5, Port Adelaide selected Xavier Bammett. And the young man is on the line now. And are you excited, Xavier?
I'm so excited, guys. Can't wait to get over to Adelaide.
Fantastic stuff. We were talking earlier off air and Campo said to me, I accidentally saw this lad play. He was over there watching his lads play against North Melbourne and he said, geez, this fella's going all right.
It was a good game, that game, against Carlton.
You played well. I would have picked you up then and there, mate.
But what can you offer Port Adelaide? What's your skill set?
I think I'm very versatile. My position is chops and changes. I can play wing, half forward, inside mid, deep forward. I think I'm a hard worker as well, so my running power is pretty good, I'd like to say. So a bit of everything, if that makes sense.
Excellent. When you weren't selected in the end of season draft, did you get any feedback? Does anybody feed back to you? Because I always think about the guys that sit there thinking they're going to get picked, they don't, and they walk away and go, okay, well, where do I pick up the pieces? And who feeds back to you?
To be honest, actually, it wasn't much post-draft. There was a lot throughout the year of my draft year. Okay. There was a lot of sort of questions on me as a player on where the next level I would play in terms of positional.
Yep.
So that was sort of the feedback that I got in terms of personally when I got to North Melbourne. I was trying to figure out where I would play and where I would suit at that VFL level and then to the next level in the AFL.
And you went to North Melbourne, Xavier. What was the thinking in going there? Did other clubs come to you or was that a club of your choice?
Yeah, I sort of had North Melbourne and St Kilda VFL sort of on my back trying to get me down, and ultimately I wanted a fresh start at a new club. And my manager's Nick Geishan, and he manages Cooper Lord, who was mid-season drafted a couple of years back, and he's going really well. And I sort of looked at the opportunity of, and I'd heard great things like really good coaches in Lynchy and Adam Marcon's the head coach and just great people. So I was really, really excited to just get down and meet new people and have a fresh start and a really red hot crack at enjoying footy and playing some good footy.
Yeah, well done, mate. It's good to hear because it's not easy, the guys that do miss out trying to get back into it again. What are you doing away from footy? Obviously, you would have been doing school last year, is that right, doing year 12, and now you've moved into the workforce this year. Is there something that you can bring across here as well?
Yeah. I actually finished 2 years ago, so I went to school early. But, I started uni again this year, so doing a Bachelor of Business at Swinburne down in Melbourne. Got some work down at Rebel. So just sort of the things I changed was filling my time a bit better and, getting things outside of football to take the mind off the game. And I think I'm reaping the rewards. So, it's just changing what I do off field more than on field for me.
And Xavier, when you were in that draft year, did you said a few clubs spoke to you? Was Port Adelaide one of them?
Yeah, I spoke to Port, I think twice. I spoke to Brett Anderson at the Combine, the state Combine, and I spoke to a couple other guys throughout the year as well. But they didn't end up taking anyone last year. So but I spoke to a couple last year. Yeah.
So did Jeff Parker say to you that we just kept an eye on you? Because I know they obviously have a list and the like, and they probably just keep an eye out on and how guys are going, just in case there is gaps open.
They actually didn't. I only heard from them this year about a week or two ago. So
right.
I in my heart thought I was staying in Melbourne 4 weeks ago. So, I'm really excited for what Adelaide's got to offer and Port Adelaide especially.
What about your mates that mugged you last night? I saw that behind. They're all going to miss you, no doubt, or they're coming over to see your first game, no doubt.
Yeah, they'll come over. Good thing about Adelaide, it's only an hour flight from Melbourne. So, those boys were really happy. They knew what I went through last year, so they were just really happy for me to get the opportunity.
Excellent. And as a kid growing up, who was your team? You would have followed somebody.
I was a Carlton supporter, actually.
Yeah, right.
Good work.
Look, there you go. You got a Carlton premiership player in the last time.
Is that why you were able to get inside the McKay family, Xavier?
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And if people don't know, if you don't mind me sharing Xavier's partner is Sophie McKay, the daughter of the great Andrew McKay. So how's that going to go? Sophie will miss you?
Yeah, I think so. But we'll make it work. She'll come up and I'll come back down, and we'll get through it.
So were you asking for Andy McKay's autograph one day or something and saw Soph? What happened there? How did you guys meet?
No, I actually showed up to family Christmas one year and went from there.
Oh, there you go.
She's not backwards and coming forward, Sophie, either, mind you. She's full of beans. She's a star.
Which is a great Christmas. What do you know about Port Adelaide?
I've only been to Adelaide once or twice, but I know there's a rich history at Port Adelaide. I think someone said to me over 150 years in the sample. I know they're pretty passionate supporters.
Oh, yes.
I think, personally from experience, Adelaide's a big footy state with, especially with Gather Round and all that. So, and a two-club town. So, a very passionate supporter base and big footy town.
You'll pick that up very quickly, Xavier. Don't worry.
Well, don't worry about that, Xavier. You're talking to one of the all-time greats of the footy club. I'm sure he'll let you know at some stage.
Really?
He's a 7-time premiership player and captain of the footy club. And if you can get him across the line, you are set for life.
Yeah, Xavier, do you have VHS?
He wouldn't know what a VHS is.
Yeah, it was last century. Don't worry about it. It was last century. Hey, Xavier, look, congratulations on being selected. It's an exciting time for you, mate. It's, I think, even more so when you don't get picked up in a national draft and you have to work hard to get back in. It really shows the character. So, mate, you've built a good foundation. Let's make it come to fruition over here at Alberton.
Exactly. Thanks, guys.
Well done, Xavier Bammett. Our mid-season draft pick with number 5 at Port Adelaide. And according to you, Port people, if they like a competitor, We've got one.
He's all of that.
You beauty.
Yep.
That's our guest.
Looking forward to seeing him in action. 18 minutes to 5. We'll check traffic around Adelaide.
Afternoon, still got big delays at Rosewater with that house fire causing dramas and road closures too. Crane Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. Walkley Heart to Crash getting cleaned up now. Walkley's Road at Grand Junction Road and still sorting out those electric works at Paradise today. Lower North East Road near Darley Road. Busy Fullerton Road through Dulwich. Slow going South Road Edwardstown with a camera. Bradley Grove Mitchell Park. Dan Murphy's don't match prices. They beat them. Get Victoria Bitter $3.75 mil bottles 24 case $55 for My Dan's members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Listen. On eBay, it's now free to sell, so you can keep more of what you earn.
Well, all right.
No transaction fees on your sales. Not available to pro sellers. See full terms on eBay.
Not every conversation stays with you. This one will. Join Stephen Bartlett as he asks the questions and nothing is left unsaid. Search The Diary of a CEO wherever you get your podcasts.
Want to work smarter, not harder? With our special offer 12-month term deposit, you can. For a limited time only, we're offering a hot rate of 5.7% per annum. With this guaranteed return, the only hard part is working out what to do with all your extra savings. Contact Police Credit Union about a term deposit today. It's a smart move. T's and C's apply. Minimum deposit $250K. Strictly new money only. AFSL 238991.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. And right now, you don't have to wait. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year unlocked event is on right now. So you can jump in early and get first pick from a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next day servicing. No waiting, no missing out. End of financial year unlocked event ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Is stress draining your energy, wearing down your immunity and leaving you feeling exhausted? Are you struggling to keep up with your day? Introducing Caruso's 8 Mushrooms Complex. Caruso's 8 Mushrooms Complex contains 8 mushrooms plus astragalus, which is traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to help the body adapt to stress, promote energy levels, relieve tiredness and support your immune system. So if you're ready to take control of your day, try Caruso's 8 Mushrooms Complex today from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
You might have heard Dave and Will talking about Matt from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. Matt runs the depot and he's big on helping people out. If you need to move things or people, Matt has it covered. From single and dual cab utes, 4x4s and tray tops, to small and large vans and 12 to 22 seat buses for short or long-term hire. Ask for Matt's mates rates. Visit avis.com.au or call 8241 5200. 8241 5200.
At McGill's Fresh Seafood, you're not guessing what's fresh, you're getting the real deal. Owner Andy hails from Port Lincoln and has spent decades in the fishing and seafood retail industry. It means he knows better than most, dealing with local suppliers, sourcing fresh seafood daily from all over Australia, then processed on-site by his team. From fresh fillets to frozen favourites, McGill's has the full range of Australian seafood. Visit McGill's Fresh Seafood at McGill Village Shopping Centre. Bought today, sold today.
They say one of life's biggest decisions is buying a home, but sometimes the hardest one is leaving it. At Anglicare SA, we're here to help you stay where you belong. We offer support for everyday things like cleaning, gardening, cooking, but are also experts in care management, allied health, and clinical nursing. Because we believe there is no place like home, and with the right support, there is no reason to leave it. Find out more at Anglicare SA. You are at home.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Campo sitting in for Rowie here on this Wednesday night. It is 13 minutes to 5 and our Adelaide Thunderbirds are in a top-of-the-table game at home on Sunday against the Melbourne Vixens. This will be an absolute blockbuster. And if you'd like tickets, head to adelaidethunderbirds.com.au. We have a double pass to give away right now. If you'd like to go, 8223 0055 is the comp line.
Yeah, keep your calls and texts coming. Got one here. Obviously, Koshy goes on breakfast normally Wednesdays, but he was on this morning and haven't got a name for this one, but it says, sick of Koshy telling us we don't rebuild. That's why we're in the position we are now. Held onto a coach too long, trading out of the draft for mature players. All this does is put pressure on Carr, who would know the list is probably bottom 4. Kosh needs to stick to finance. So that's a strong one. Now, what did Koshy say this morning?
Let's have a listen.
We always aim to be competitive every single year and be competitive to finals. Now, of course, you go through cycles as a club. We've got a new coach, a new playing system that we've got in place. We've been preparing for 2 really, really big drafts this year and next year. But that's what good clubs do. And good clubs don't go to the bottom for extended periods of time. I have always been determined that will never happen to us.
We're 14th at the moment with 3 wins, 8 losses. I know it was called a reboot before the season started.
But no one's ever consciously going to the bottom, though.
No, I wouldn't think so. No, but I think you do understand where your list is at, don't you? As a club,
absolutely. Well, that's what list management's for.
Correct.
That you understand what the short term versus long game is. And then you draft or trade in appropriately as to what you might need. And that's why Sydney, Geelong, those teams that have been able to stay at the top for a long period of time have done it as good as anyone over the journey.
Yeah, correct. I think Sydney missed after a grand final, but then bounced straight back.
Yeah, but that wasn't necessarily a list issue.
No.
That was probably more mentality and
the changing of the guard, wasn't it?
Changing the guard, absolutely.
So, but Port, 14th. Yep, 14th at the moment, 3 and 8. And you would say with the way they prepared draft-wise, not taking anybody last year and the like, and filling injury gaps mid-season, they're going hard for the next 2 drafts because they realise they're going to be up against it with all the concessions that we spoke to the Tasmanian list manager about last night.
Yeah. No, you don't want to be down there because all the talent, not just, if you're down the bottom, father and son academies and NGA, now you're dealing with another beast, which they clearly want them to hit the ground running when they come in. So
it's quite frightening.
It is.
Hearing those numbers of what they're able to do and what they've got, and $5 million in a purse as well.
Well, that's more for established players, good players, but it's the talent. It's the top-end talent in those drafts.
We don't want to lose those either.
Well, no, you don't. I'm not sure he's going to go to Tassie.
Yeah. No, not that one anyway. Let's go to Dennis. G'day, mate.
Morning. Good afternoon, Tim. G'day, Campo. Tim, I've just got 3 things. I just want to be nice and constructive.
Yep.
The defence coach, now, as far as I know, he was the defence coach at the West Coast Eagles the last couple of years. Now, I'm being a bit disappointed that they still zone off. They don't play tight in defence.
Yeah, Campo, you've had a look, and you've seen some holes in that occasionally as well, haven't you?
Well, I don't think. Well, that's more it's a little bit about system and how they wanted to play, and they call it proactive or assertive defence. Now, I've always been, and this is my philosophy, I've always been a believer, when the ball's within a kicking distance, you've got to be arm across your guy, and you can still be proactive and play in front, but you've got to have some sort of body contact on your forward to not allow them to move and at least know you've got them as a reference point. And it doesn't just happen at Port Adelaide. This happens across the league. I see it a lot. Now, the challenge with that is you need pressure up the field. So Port's pressure's dropped off the last 3 weeks especially, where it's been pretty good. So those guys get exposed because the ball moves really quickly when there's no pressure on the ball.
So that last kick you're talking about, they've got the gap.
Correct. And that's all part of it.
And that's what Dennis has been saying. What else you got, Dennis?
Timmy, can I just 2 quick things? Dougie Cochran, we're not seeing him. I thought he would have spent the year playing in the Magpies.
Yeah, well, that was the plan, Dennis. He did a knee. He's got not a reconstruction, but he's got a knee that's troubling him to the point where he's not even going to play in the under-18 championship, which is a real disappointment, Dennis, because we were definitely looking forward to him playing a year of SANFL and under-18 championship. So he played last year and was pretty good in it as a 17-year-old. So
one last thing, Tim. I've been really disappointed with Jacob Ware. I thought he was coming to Port as a real quick wingman with a big long kick, and he's now when we went to Darwin, they dropped him, and he didn't play anywhere, and then they brought him back last week. He they didn't even get the fame, and the Magpies to get a bit of form.
Yeah, spot on, Dennis. I think that was one of the questions I did ask Luke. I just said I'm not sure you could have brought Todd and Jacob back after not being able to really earn that spot back into the team. So it was definitely a question to be asked, Dennis.
Selection integrity.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you with the Jacob one. He hasn't played to the expectation I think that he would have liked to, and certainly that we would have liked him to as a supporter. So,
well, just on that though, Dennis, they're still third in the competition for points against Port Adelaide. Yeah. That's a pretty good jump considering where they were, previously. Yeah. And as I said the other night, I don't like comparing Ken's tenure to Josh's, but if you're looking for improvement, but to be third in the competition,
I was going to say just based on this season,
correct.
Being third,
doing
points
a lot right
against,
defensively.
you go, okay, we're getting some things right. Let's go to Marion. G'day, Sam.
Yeah, good day, boys. Just a few things, Timmy. Like, I think Koshik has to get the hair out of his eyes for starters.
Must be wearing a wig, Sam.
Yes. And apart from Brett Teakle, who they got rid of really quickly, our mid-season drafts really don't even play. And I don't know why we bother, Timmy. They're not fit, and by the time they are fit, they get rid of them anyway.
Yeah, I think last year McKinley's been playing consistently this year in the ones. Harry Ram hasn't got a start, unfortunately, with his injuries. So, but I think Harry is the one to keep an eye on, Sam, as far as that mid-season draft goes. And Manny Liddy was the other one who played the back end of last year, but has had a groin problem and hasn't hit the park.
Well, Logan Evans has been a success.
Logan Evans, I think, has been a success, Sam. I'm still backing him in. Him and Josh Lai, very similar, where at the moment, because they're in the 0 to 50 range, they have unbelievable moments, and then they have moments where you go, oh, that one hurt. But I'm prepared to back those two in because you know why? They do what Dave from North Haven wants. They'll stand under the ball. They'll keep their head up. They'll keep in a straight line with the football. They do the things that
Who's played
Dave
the perfect game, though? We talk about Jason Horne-Francis as well, and he's an unbelievable player. But he turned that ball over in the middle of the ground. So we can see the gap. We've just got to take a breath around. Like the game is not going to be perfect at best. And I've done the numbers. At 70 to 75% is around about what you should be in terms of disposal efficiency and all those things. So if you're looking for 80 or 90 and all that, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. So, but it's the effort and competitiveness
Yes, and that's what I say, those three names you've just chucked up, I think we've got that in them. And I'm all for that, and I'll back that in. So it's the guys that do get pointed out that perhaps aren't at that level of competitiveness.
Here's a unique home-style food text from Mark at Halla Cove. He says, why don't we get the new players who arrive at Alberton to stay with Dave at North Haven for 6 months?
I'll tell you what, they would know. They would know the rules. And that's what I like about the accountability of facing your supporters. It's underrated. It's underrated. I mean, when you're at Carlton, I know it wasn't a big thing. Interestingly, when the Collingwood boys used to come over in the early 90s, because Port weren't in, and Greg Phillips and Bruce Abernathy, Mark Williams all had a great association, they would come to Alberton and they'd watch us, and then they'd play Crows, come back to Greg's pub on a Sunday. So we had a lot of interaction. And they said, we just love the way you guys always go back to your club and all your supporters come. He said, we don't really do that. They send one or two players. This is back in the 80s and 90s. And I was like, so is that just a South Australian thing?
It was, because I remember back in the day when we used to play at Princess Park, and John Elliott, after the game, because they have the old social club up there. Now it's the new facilities there. John would come and tap you on the shoulder, not the media manager, no one else. If you played well, John would come and tap you on the shoulder and goes, you're upstairs, we're singing the song. So he used to make you go up to the social club, stand on a chair in front of all the supporters and sing We Are the Navy Blues.
I love that. You should go up after a loss.
Let me tell you, I was there when we were going that way, and they used the memberships as ninja stars as we were coming off the ground. So I got both ends of the barrel.
I like it. See? That's passion.
That is awesome. We are just about time for the 5 o'clock news. Jimmy Bartell's going to join us next. And with Campo and Timmy here, we want your calls. 8223 0000.
Rowie and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Experience the Mediterranean like never before with Phil Hoffman Travel and Emerald Cruises. Step on board an Emerald yacht and enjoy a new level of relaxed modern luxury, contemporary suites, world-class dining, thoughtful inclusions, personalised service and access to intimate ports across the Mediterranean. From the Greek islands to Italy and France, this is yacht cruising redefined. For a limited time, enjoy early bird savings of up to $3,000 per person. Book now with Phil Hoffman Travel at pht.com.au.
The global fuel shortage is affecting us all. To keep Australia moving, the government has been working to secure fuel supply and has put in place the 4-level National Fuel Security Plan. We're now at level 2 and we all have our part to play. Simple actions like driving less and finding more efficient ways to use your car will help our supply go further and save fuel for our truckies, farmers and essential services. Every little bit helps. For fuel saving tips, visit fuelplan.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The Great Caravan and RV End of Financial Year sale is on at Campo Agent RV Supercentre. Get savings of up to $15,000 on selected caravans, camper vans and motorhomes. This is a massive run-out sale of selected new and pre-owned stock. Get once-a-year deals on Winnebago, Windsor, Design RV, Adria and Hitchhiker. Sale must end June 30. Visit Campo Agent RV Supercentre, Parafield Gardens now. South Australia Motor Vehicle Dealer Licence 332. 2180.
Now, it's the best Beechwood home yet. I can vouch for it. I've been out there and had a look. It's now open, this new multi-level Beechwood beauty in Craigburn Farm. It's a masterpiece of design, innovation and construction.
Yeah, it's inspired by the timeless glamour and style of Palm Springs and California. It's aptly named the Caliente. This startlet of a home perched on a high side of the road with endless possibilities and spaces for entertaining light inside and out. Or you can simply lounge around by the fireplace, taking in the stunning views.
It's got levels. It's just incredible. The outside, the inside, it's just, you just want to have a party there. Beechwood Caliente is a home designed for all generation. It even features its own elevator, a climate-controlled wine room, and the team at Beechwood Homes have gone all out. They can't wait for you to see it. Get to the Caliente. It's open for inspection Saturday and Sundays at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, 1 till 4:30. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
A test drive should test the car, not your patience. In the city, it's traffic lights, roundabouts and stop-start driving. So take your foot off the brake and open it up a little. Come to Barossa Auto Group and test drive all the big brands. Ford, Volkswagen, Honda and Kia. Available to test drive through the stunning Barossa. We'll even buy you lunch to make a day of it. T's and C's apply. Barossa Auto Group. Tanunda and Nooriutpa. Book a test drive today.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here on 7 News live to the mid-north for the latest on the search for Gus Lamont. Why police swooped on a cyclist with a tennis racket in Adelaide's north. And Alistair Clarkson's in Adelaide. We reveal who he's here to see.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Down to 11 tonight, cloudy tomorrow 18. With the 5 o'clock news, good evening, I'm Mel Usher. A Rosewater woman has lost her home of 30 years after a large fire at the property. The blaze on Grand Junction Road took hold just after 11:30 this morning. The cause and damage bill is yet to be determined. The sale of the Whyalla Steelworks has progressed to a short list of 2 bidders as the process enters its final stages, an Australian enterprise and international company. The successful bidder is set to be announced within months after Sanjeev Gupta's failed GFG alliance was placed in administration last year. Premier Peter Malinauskas visited the site today.
These 2 shortlisted bidders give us the best chance to realise the end game here, which is a completely recapitalised and transformed steelmaking operation to set up steelmaking in this country for the long term.
Some economists are not convinced the Reserve Bank will keep interest rates on hold when the board meets next month. Latest data shows the inflation rate has eased to 4.2% over the year to April, mainly driven by a reduction in fuel prices. Despite this, the cost of housing, transportation and food still went up. Chief Investment Officer at the Motley Fool, Scott Phillips, says inflation is not as bad as before, but it's still not great.
But when inflation's got a 4 in front of it, and when the trim demand is going the wrong way, I don't know, mate. If I was on that board, I'm not sure I'd be putting my hands in my pockets. I think I'd be voting for an increase, not because I hate mortgage payers, just because if we do nothing, then prices don't come down, and that's the big question.
The federal government says the latest cohort of women and children who arrived from Syria could still be charged. The group, with links to Islamic State, landed in Sydney and Melbourne yesterday. Counter-terrorism police are investigating the 7 women and 12 children, but at this stage there have been no arrests. NASA has unveiled plans to launch 3 uncrewed missions this year to begin construction on a permanent moon base. The $20 billion project aims to build the infrastructure needed to support long-term human presence. Former astronaut Katie Coleman says the phased approach is essential.
But it's 3 phases of basically putting things on the surface of the moon that will help us understand enough about it to be able to have people live there.
A man has been charged with harassing Australian singer-songwriter Delta Goodrem online. The 33-year-old is accused of using a carriage service to menace, harass or offend. Now turning to 5AA sport, and the AFL will pay tribute to Neil Danaher in the upcoming round of football. All players will wear black armbands, while a moment of silence will be observed prior to each match to honour his life, legacy and service. Essendon great Matthew Lloyd says James Hird put it all out there last night, showing just how much he wants the job. Hird put his hat in the ring, saying he'd love to coach Essendon again and is ready to go up against the best candidates in an exhaustive process to find Brad Scott's successor. Lloyd has told Channel 9 Hird putting his hat in the ring for the coaching job will scare off a lot of potential candidates.
So the factor will be, does the club come out and say he's in the process or out of the process, just to get their best candidate, because it's going to be difficult for them because there's too many won't want to go for the job.
And New South Wales and Queensland meet in the 2026 State of Origin Series opener in Sydney tonight. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Rosewater, a house fire causing big delays and road closures at Green Junction Road near Margaret Terrace tonight. Pretty slow as we speak. Main North Road at Enfield heading out of the city. Sluggish Fullerton Road driving through Dulwich. And do look out for those works at Wingfield, which is slow. The Putter Expressway near Hanson Road. Camera, Goodwood Road, Kettlelight Gardens. Save an extra 10% off store-wide right now at Amart, including all sale items, shop lounges, dining, bedroom furniture, mattresses and more. Hurry, deal must end Sunday at Amart. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight, cloudy tomorrow 18, Friday showers increasing 19, Saturday showers 17. Right now it's 17 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Brackless. Tonight, we're on the ground with police in the state's mid-north. The latest on their fresh search for Gus Lamont. Delaying diabetes, the breakthrough 100 years in the making. See the bold plans for NASA's permanent moon base and the missing ingredient that could be making your kids grumpy and tired. The warning signs for parents. 9 News. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
The 5AA Sports Show.
Still to come, Jimmy Bartell with his views on if James Hird is the right man for the Bombers. Where are they now with Glenelg Hawthorn gun Tony Hall? Plus, we discuss the impact of the mid-season draft with the Samfels Matt Doldig, and we'll take your calls.
Rowie and Timmy G.
The 5AA Sports Show.
6 after 5 on this Wednesday. Campo sitting in for Rowie tonight. We keep taking your calls, 8223 0000. But first, all thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. SA family owned and operated since 1980.
Bartell checks signs it brilliantly.
He can do it all, James Bartell.
Here's my Broadway man, Jimmy Bartell, on the 5AA Sports Show.
Jimmy, thanks to Statesman Windows. Jimmy, we've had a scratching, mate. We've got an out, row out, Campo in. What do you think of that?
Oh, it's magnificent. Is he going to try and sell you some coffee? I know he's
well,
you started
that.
He's the global ambassador for coffee, yeah.
Victoria? Well,
I'm blushing, Jimmy. I'm blushing.
Yes. Well, of course, the George Clooney comment has been getting a little run over here in Adelaide as well, Jimmy. So very, very confident. He did roll the shoulders back, though, when you said it.
So he should. And we need to actually go down memory lane a bit, because that 1995 Carlton side, I bored him to death off air when we were doing some work on 3AW and listing some of the names, and I went into proper football nuffdom history because that was a side that absolutely lit up the Cats in the grand final.
Yeah. Who'd you barrack for as a kid?
Oh, look, I wasn't a diehard fan. I had a big soft spot for the Tigers. One of my grandfathers was a big Richmond supporter, but growing up in Geelong in the 90s, it was hard not to get behind the Cats. And they used to, if you get down there at three-quarter time, they used to open up the gates, so you'd get in sort of last quarter and watch a quarter of footy.
Yeah, how good. Oh, excellent. Hey, mate, it's been an indifferent week, hasn't it? I mean, we had the passing of Neil Danaher, which was, what would you say? It was inevitable, but it was sad still that this man had broken all records and beaten the beast as far as we're concerned, and the money that he's raised so far, just amazing. And then the next day, Brad Scott is removed as coach. It didn't really put a lot of blue sky on the week.
No, it felt like we had a month of sort of football news in the space of 48 hours, didn't it? Like it hit us hard and hit us heavy, of course, in regards to Neil Danaher and the tributes. It feels like, as great as all the tributes, it still feels like we're going to land short and actually giving him the absolute honour that he deserves. And it transcends sport and footy. Definitely educated us all. I think unless you're personally touched by MND, I don't think we knew a lot about it. And how savage it is as a disease, but he brought that out into light. And the thing that blows me away is the way MND hits you. You could probably completely understand that he probably would have retired into a quiet life with his family, but he did the exact opposite and put himself on display and lent into it and was willing to show all the flaws and what was taking away from him incredibly slowly, just to raise money and awareness for the cause. What an incredible man. Quite amazing.
I see that it's come out that clubs have been informed that there will be a Neil Danaher ceremony before all 7 games in round 12. So a little pre-game address, which I think is a nice touch. But there was some talk that over there in Melbourne that the money that was so-called going to be allocated to the Dan Andrews statue, maybe take that away and put that into a Neil Danaher statue. That's something that people might bloody appreciate in Melbourne.
Well, that's what statues should be about. Like, I'm not going to weigh too much in to the political sphere. You can do whatever you want and that, but my understanding of statues is you honour heroes, not people who are divisive.
Correct.
Well, and the money too, Jimmy. How much do you reckon they'd spend in trying to clean it up each week? It's getting spray-painted, whatever else.
Yeah, great call.
And let's talk about Brad Scott. What did you think? Was it inevitable that it was coming, number one? And two, did you watch on your, competitive station on Agenda Setters his interview, and what are your thoughts on what he said?
I watched it. Look, they've spoken about a plan. I think Brad Scott attempted last week to beautifully handcuff the CEO and the president to the plan, and he's one of the great speakers in AFL football. He and his brother, when they speak into a microphone, they're incredibly articulate and savvy, and I thought he did that last week, which made it a bit of a surprise that it came about rapidly. Look, the big thing for him is, yes, I do believe his idea and plan was to turn his attention to youth, but he doesn't really have a big history of development teams. As much as he tried to put that into the sphere, you even go back to the time in North Melbourne, we know his body of work. He's got over 280 games of experience. The big issue was defence. If you want to just look at it from a purely football point of view, they were making no inroads in defence, and that was what stood out for me when I went and watched Essendon. It didn't look like there was any plan at all, and under Brad Scott, the numbers say he doesn't coach defence. That's 15 years of work, and he's never coached the top 6 defence. So that was clearly one of the metrics that Andrew Welsh and the board were referring to and how they were going to actually measure him, and in their eyes, he came up short.
And we move on pretty quick. Do you reckon the decision of Carlton to, part ways with Vossi, do you reckon that fast-tracked the decision based on that they both want to try and get into the market and get the best coach they can get?
Yeah, I think that's always an interesting debate. I don't always just believe in once a coach goes, then other clubs feel like then oh, we've got to quickly do it because we want to get in the market as well. They could have completely different ideas what they want in a coach, because there's plenty of experienced coach and tried and true, and then there's plenty of rising star assistant coaches, and then there's assistant coaches who've had 25 years to be a new coach. So, the Stephen Kings, the Adam Kingsleys of the world who have spent 20 years in the system. So I don't always buy into the fact that, oh, geez, we've got to get into the market, because if the person's right, they're right. And if they want to coach your club, they'll passionately go forward for it. So it doesn't mean we're going to have the same group of contenders for Carlton, Essendon, or even Tasmania.
Is there a world that James Hird can get the job, Jimmy?
I think there is. I think he articulated it pretty well on Footy Classified last night, that he wants to go through the process. He wants to do it. I don't think there was any tone where, well, yeah, if they call me, I'll take the job. It was, yeah, if they called me and said, would I like to apply, I'll definitely go through that. So I think the way he, I guess, positioned himself was the correct way to do it. And it's like, yes, I'll go into it, and I'm confident, and I'll try my best to beat out everyone else. Now, that's going to make it harder for everybody else, but clearly we know that the connection and the DNA back there to Essendon.
So Jimmy, do we forgive and forget what happened previously?
I think there's always room for people to have second chances in life, and in particular footy, we're pretty accommodating for it. There's been a lot of water under the bridge. Only the people who are on the Essendon coaching selection panel will have to make that decision. By the sounds of it, I'm just going off public opinion, comments and radio and TV and walking down the street. He seems pretty popular still amongst the Essendon faithful. There's always going to be some who think, well, we should put that in the past, but I reckon for, say every 10 people, I still think there's 8 out of 10 would be happy to have him coaching.
Yeah, the thing with me, Jimmy, it seems like a lot of people want to coach. They love coaching and the like. It seems like James, if he's going to coach, it's only Essendon. Like there's been no desire to go outside of that. That's always been an interesting one for me.
Yeah, and I reckon that's a good point too. Like, a senior coaching job, as much as it's high stress and we sometimes shake your head, it's still a privilege. Like, they're incredible jobs, the 18 senior coaching jobs, the fact you get to lead an AFL club. And maybe his time at GWS, where he helped out Jared McVeigh as assistant coach, and he's been doing a fair bit of work at Port Melbourne. But what helps is he's so passionate about Essendon, and if he's got that passion, he'll go leave no stone unturned as far as being better prepared. And I think Kevin Sheedy said that when he got asked about it. I think this will be a different James Hird this time around.
Yes. Mid-season draft. One, are you a believer in it? And I know that the other competitions like VFL, SNFL, WAFL and the like that these players come from, a lot of the coaches are like, oh, no, that's our biggest nightmare and the like. Do you see it one day being replaced by a mid-season trade, or is it just the fact that you've got to suck it up and you're a feeder league?
Well, there's two ways of looking at it. Yes, I do feel sorry for, the likes of Glenelg and Norwood and, all the other SNFL clubs, because they are getting, they're normally at sides who are going pretty well because those players are playing pretty well, which is helping them get to a good position on the ladder. The other way that you could look at it too is you become an attractive proposition for some pretty talented players to come play in your competition and your club, because you are seen as another opportunity to make it to AFL level. Just on whether you just keep tapping into the second-tier competitions or you do mid-season trade. I'm still not there yet on currently listed players because I haven't heard anyone spell out what the mechanics are for it. So does the player just remain for the rest of the year? Do you then have to offer him an 18-month contract? Does it cost you a lift spot? Where does it cost you salary cap? Different things like that. And I also like the fact that you shouldn't be, not rewarded, but you shouldn't be bailed out for not structuring your list in a way that leaves you short. So I think the art of list management is going, well, what if we do have a big fella go down? Or do we actually have to change our philosophy or structure because all of a sudden we've lost two key position forwards? Now, some might argue the Richmond go on the rampage they do if a couple of talls who were supposed to play next to Jack Rewalt didn't go down and they played all the smalls with him.
Yeah.
So, that's part of our game and competition as well.
Yeah, good one, mate. Well answered. We're about the halfway mark, and this is where you sort of get your money, mate. You know, who's going well, who's not going well. Brisbane probably surprised us all with that performance against the Giants, but is there a clear favourite at this stage?
I don't think there is. I think the last 3 years we've had sides get off the rollicking starts, 13, 14 wins in a row. Port Adelaide at one stage had 13 wins in a row, and I was off the start. But Sydney, belted out a heap of wins and then fell in a hole, of course, on grand final day. So I'm still not sure is an out-and-out favourite. The good thing is we've got a good group or pack. So there's 4 or 5 teams. Then I think we've got a little bit of a gap, another 3 or 4 teams, and then another gap, and that takes you down to sort of 11 and 12. So there's 3 tiers there. I think it's Geelong, Fremantle, Sydney, the Hawks, sort of just there. Brisbane are just off the pace. Melbourne, we'll see as the season unrolls once they get tested with their game plan. And I know I'm forgetting a team, but you get the point I'm making.
Yeah. Well, and Jimmy, it's a bye round for both our South Australian teams. How do you see their start to the season?
Well, again, that's blunder number 10 on the fixturing. Why would you have both South Australian teams on a bye at the same time? Why wouldn't you have one of them playing in South Australia this weekend?
Good point.
Well, Adelaide Oval are asking the same thing.
I think it's a good time for Port Adelaide. I think they've done a lot of good things and not get the win, but last week was a bit of...
Stank.
Oh, hang on, that's a bit messy. You don't want Josh Carr having to fire so many bullets and plead them to actually play to a particular standard already this early in his tenure. So it's probably come at a good time. Just take a bit of a breath. The Crows, I thought their first quarter was excellent down in Lonnie, but then the second quarter it was almost the reverse of that. I think they might need to review some of their game plan strategies that have come into the season with and gone, look, we've got a fair body of work. Where is it falling down? Is it personnel or is it a bit of structure? Because they've definitely got the talent.
Excellent, mate. Hey, Jimmy, thanks again as usual. Talk to you next Wednesday.
Anytime. Good to speak to you, Clooney.
Love it. There we go, mate. Jimmy Bartell, our guest, every Wednesday, thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's boutique window company, trusted by the best builders in Adelaide. And just like Jimmy, they are elite, consistently delivering at the highest level. Need the best windows? See Statesman Windows.
They are elite indeed. 19 after 5. Here's traffic.
Got a few headaches this afternoon at Rosewater with a house fire. It's causing big delays and road closures. Green Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. Pretty slow right now. Fullerton Road heading home through Glen Osmond Road just near the Arkabar. Quite busy South Road, Edwardstown near Castle Plaza with a camera tonight. Goodwood Road, Kinloch Gardens. Solo by MYOB Thames Admin 365 days a year, so you never have to cram tax again. Sign up for Solo at myob.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Time to put the spotlight on SA's amazing businesses with 5AA's Best of SA.
Ray White Business Sales helps business owners navigate sales and acquisitions with clarity and confidence.
The Best of SA on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Right now, there's never been a better time to buy a new forklift from Toyota Material Handling. Score great end of financial year deals across a selected range of new Toyota electric pallet jacks and counterbalance forklifts currently in stock, stacked with legendary reliability and productivity and ready to deliver outstanding end of financial year value. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends June 30.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The famous National Tiles May Spend and Save ends Saturday with genuine savings of up to 25% on the best value tiles in the market. Yes, save up to 25% off the best value tiles in the market. And the more you spend, the more you save. So bring your home to life on any budget with absolute genuine savings of up to 25% on beautiful National Tiles. But absolutely must end Saturday. So rush into National Tiles or go online now and save. Conditions apply.
For a lot of Adelaide homeowners, Timmy, the hardest part of repainting isn't choosing the colour. No. It's knowing who you can trust to turn up and do the job properly.
So important, isn't it? And that's why for more than 40 years, people have called Supreme Painting. Now, they were founded in 1978 and still family run today. Elia and the team are known for honest advice, reliable service, quality workmanship and treating every home with genuine care and respect.
Yeah, I love that. Whether you're freshening up the tired interior, protecting weathered exteriors or preparing a property for sale, Supreme Painting helps take the stress and the uncertainty out of the process. They service all Adelaide suburbs, including the Adelaide Hills, with free quotes, colour consultants and senior discounts available as well.
Oh, I like that. I got my seniors card.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
heard
beauty.
that.
Better call Elia today and see why generations of Adelaide families continue to trust Supreme Painting. Go to supremepainting.au or call 0419 848 339.
Planning your next event? Choose a venue where everything comes together. Adelaide Convention Centre. It's where your vision and our expertise come together, where creative cuisine meets extraordinary productions and excitement and innovation combine in a space that is truly world-class. From corporate gatherings to grand celebrations, we make every occasion unforgettable. Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre and start planning your next event today.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. If you've had solar on your roof for 10 years, you would understand the big feed-in tariffs have pretty much disappeared. That's why NRG Solar will tell you the best way forward is to combine your existing or new solar system with battery storage. Storing the excess energy your solar makes during the day to use it at night is a game changer. NRG Solar helps you upgrade smarter with solutions designed to target zero power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Tech troubles? Don't stress. Geeks to You offers data recovery, digital security, Wi-Fi fixes and computer setup nationwide. Book a 1-hour tech service with confidence. No fix, no fee. Geeks to You, part of Officeworks.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
With Campo in the chair for Rowie, it's 23 minutes after 5 on this Wednesday, and looking forward to tomorrow's show. We're going to be live from the Excelsior Hotel, which is in the heart of Brompton on Coghlan Street, 110. It's been done up. It looks fantastic. Fully renovated kitchen and new dining room, new menu, all-day dining from 12. So come join us, say g'day, and come and have something new at the Excelsior Hotel. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, the Excelsior has been a stable part of the Barreau Hotel Group, and I've been known to pop in there and say hello and the like. Now, I have not seen it since the renovation, so I am going there to do the show, and I'm staying there for dinner. So
good idea.
It's basically dinner and a show for me.
So you got to work.
Absolutely sensational stuff. So look forward to that. Tonight, some good news.
Now, some good news here for Adelaide supporters. Braden Cook, as reported here by AFL.com.au, set to be rewarded with his breakout season with a new 2-year deal to the end of 2028. What are your thoughts? 2-year deal?
Yeah, well deserved. Yeah.
Yep.
He's played 30 games across 5 seasons, so it's taking him a little bit of time to break in, hasn't it? But
this is the year that he looks comfortable. Like he looks like he feels like he belongs.
Yeah, it's great. It's always good to see players that do that, because it does take a little bit of time, and everyone's journey is a little different. But at the halfway mark of the season, he's the second-rated wingman in the competition, so well deserved.
Good on him.
Gee, good rating.
Yeah.
Well done.
He's had a big year indeed. For Port Adelaide people, this is an interesting story on 7 News today, and we heard a texter bring this up. Clarko is in town, and did he meet with Zach Butters? Here's his audio.
They want their list to be better, and we're no different. We're working hard to get better as a footy club, and hopefully our form improves a little bit more in the second half of the year.
Got door stopped at the cafe there, Clarko, so he's doing what he has to do.
Absolutely. We had Tim earlier, who's a North Melbourne man. He actually came back and said, we don't need Butters. Well, I'm happy for him to stay, Tim. Don't worry about that. I've got no qualms about that. But if I'm, you asked me the question about what do you think of it? Well, I think that he's doing the right thing by his footy club, and that's what you want, isn't it? Somebody going in a bat for you.
Absolutely.
And now the AFL's put out a press release today in regards to Neil Danaher and how the AFL will honour him and his life across round 12 this weekend. So across all 7 matches, players from all 14 clubs will wear black armbands, while a moment of silence will be observed prior to each match to honour Neil's life, legacy and service.
Yeah. We were talking about those statues earlier and the farcical idea. With Jimmy, we actually spoke about it, with Daniel Andrews having a statue, please. I mean, that he said himself that, you don't have somebody who's divisive, but Neil Danaher, if he was ever immortalised with something like that, or whether it was just a big freeze beanie or something like that, you'd just go, yep, thank you very much. I mean, he would probably recoil at an idea of a statue of himself, but if it meant, a fight MND with a beanie on top of it, and you know what? If a cure comes out of the fundraising,
it will.
You go, you know what? what a legacy to leave. Because that is incredible. You know, like a lot of people said, unless you'd been affected by MND with a friend or a relative,
this is true.
You probably wouldn't have known what it was and how it affects people and how hideous it is. Now, he brought to light for everybody in the football community especially that this is a hideous disease and that money was needed to get to, you know, some sort of cure.
Well said, Timmy.
Yep, absolutely. And it would be great too because you sit there and not only for what he's done, but also future generations. I think that's important when there is statues, that there's history behind it, that your kids, Tuggers, go past and you can actually tell the story to your, you know, young children around what he's done. And hopefully by then there might be a cure and you can tell them the story. That's where I think those things are important, particularly when it's a statue or they're going to, you know.
But it's also the next generation then perhaps helping to find the cause too. Because when you're aware of it and maybe you want to do something about it, you have more people hands on deck to do so. Let's get back to your calls, 8223 0000. Hi, Brie. Hi, Mike. Malcolm.
Here you go, guys. Look, 2 points. I didn't ring up about Neil, but in terms of while we see all the fundraising side of it, that his empathy and compassion for everyone else with it, you know, his help with Chris Greig and Damien Lane, and now Stewie Verrill, and that he is incredible. He was just a remarkable man. Words aren't good enough to describe him. He was literally the captain coach of the motor neuron community. Is the correct terminology, and we can't do enough in terms of recognising what he's done.
Yeah, spot on, Malcolm. Spot on.
What I did ring about in terms of the mid-season draft, now we had, I've got to be honest, I was disappointed with Matty Goldrick to say, you know, the 10 grand isn't enough. Yeah, we know that, but let's think of a compromise. So I'll say the one club which has been the best was Richmond. That was when Barmy was there, so there was obviously compassion and towards the state competitions. So Parker went back and played finals, I think South Fremantle, but Waffle finals, and that's what should happen. So because the Eagles are the club who've got hammered. Eagles and North Adelaide have got hit this year, but it can be any club. But what I'm saying out of that, so the AFL club, one, if they're not in finals, they just automatically come back and play as AFL finals. Or two, at AFL level, the AFL club's got to name a squad of, say, 27 or 28. They're not in that squad, they're released and come back and play as AFL finals. And at least that way, I think it helps, to some extent, the integrity of our competition.
So like a loan situation, Malcolm. I don't mind.
No, I don't mind it.
I don't mind the concept. I was only thinking if they went to either Adelaide or Port and they play in those sample sides for the back half of the year, then go back to the original club. Is that how it would work? Go back to North or Norwood or Glenelg and the lot and Eagles?
That probably wouldn't work.
That one seems more difficult, but interstate.
But you'd have to go. So what is there? We're round 12 this week. There's still 12 rounds to go. They would have to play less than 50% AFL games to then there'd have to be. I'm just spitballing. There would have to be a number around, but I actually don't mind. I don't mind that.
Would a sample coach want to disrupt the team that they've then led into finals with if they've been performing well?
If they're a very good player, yes.
Yeah, sure.
If they're very good defenders, very playing AFL.
So I can tell you now from my experience, I started my first year of coaching. We had 6 wins on the board, and I thought, how easy is coaching? What was all this hoo-ha about?
Famous
Unbelievable,
wins.
yeah. So in those teams, I had a mixture of Ivan Marek, Jacob Surgeon, even Adam Kingsley came back to me at one stage. Scotty Stevens, remember Scotty Stevens? Had to finish the game with concussion, but he was just flying. He was flying for me in these early games. Anyway, all of them disappeared and went into the AFL because we were playing well. And they were playing well. Anyway, come finals, our back half wasn't as good as our front half, and I was making all the phone calls, and not one of them came back. I would have gladly disrupted my team to put those blokes back in.
They said no.
No.
Oh,
didn't get one back.
Ouch!
Wow.
Not one.
Was that a club decision, or was it their decision?
Both. Yeah, both.
5:30 headlines are coming up. Where are they now? With Tony Hall is next.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the 5:30 News headlines. Labor has unveiled an overhaul of Australia's employment system. Investigators have wrapped up day 2 in their renewed search for Gus Lamont near Yunta. A man has been charged with harassing Australian singer-songwriter Delta Goodrem online. And in sport, all players will wear black armbands for Neil Danaher this AFL round, with a moment of silence to be observed prior to each match. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon, still got really big delays with that house fire at Rosewater at the moment. Road closures to Crane Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. Avoid that if you can tonight. Breakdown just popped up Renown Park, North-South motorway near Torrens Road. We're busy Brighton Road, Brighton. We're slow South Road at Mile End with the camera black through Gillis Plains. Cold nights are here. Visit Illusion Gas Log Fires today and receive up to $500 off selected Illumina gas fireplaces. Limited time by now before winter hits. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 11 tonight, cloudy tomorrow 18. Right now it's 16 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Just want to reflect on this quote.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Prices went up in South Australia, the state with the highest penetration of renewables in Australia.
5AA Breakfast.
This is what the Energy Minister, Chris Bowen, said. It is no coincidence that energy price reductions have happened. Yeah, well... That is just not true.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Where's the Premier on this? Has he spoken to Chris Bowen about this? If the Premier would actually like to come on the damn show and explain to people.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Moving parcels, big and small, Aussie Fast can take them all. Fast and reliable freight, logistics and courier solutions for businesses across Australia. Aussie Fast, proudly South Australian owned and operated for over 30 years. Aussie Fast offer prompt, reliable and on-time delivery. From interstate line haulage to local couriers and distribution, plus a huge, secure, fully monitored warehouse. All your freight right to your door. Call 13 13 64.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Predicting when the kids will finally go to sleep? Impossible.
But with NG every day, a little more certainty is possible. You can lock in your rates until 1 July 2027 and we'll let you know if there's a cheaper NG plan on every bill with our best offer check. Energy that puts your mind at ease. With NG, it's possible. Search NG for more. Not available all areas, residential customers only. Plan fact sheets available online. Best offer check based on applicable best offer regulations.
There's a moment every family hopes for. When you walk in and they're just happy, settled, themselves. And you realise the decision you agonised over was the right one all along. Para Ability Community Care is one of the state's largest and most trusted disability accommodation providers. We're improving lives in small ways every day. Our PAC fully trained carers give your loved one the life they deserve and give you back the relationship you always wanted. Experience our kindness and connection. Visit ourpac.com.au.
Adelaide, it's me, Ruben Kay. Get ready because I'm inviting you to the Adelaide Cabaret Festival. From the opening gala to the late night shows, this June is your delicious revolution. We've got the legendary Vince Jones, the cast of Jesus Christ Superstar, Alfie Boe and many, many more. It is electrifying, it is sharp and it is unmissable. This is the delicious revolution Australia has been waiting for. Adelaide Cabaret Festival, June 4th to 21st. Book now at adelaidecabaretfestival.com.au.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
At 25 minutes to 6, Campo's here for Rowie tonight. We're taking your calls, 8223 0000. Get involved with the program, but as we do each and every week, we love this. It's Where Are They Now? All thanks to Walco, who are at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
The short one, Tony Hall used his body beautifully on Hickley. Will it sit for him? He picks it up on the boundary line. Oh, look at this! Oh, what a kick Tony
Tony Hall, sensational goal.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you're a Glenelg or a Hawthorn supporter through the 80s and 90s...
Which I was.
This guy was one of those highlight reels that you would just love to see playing every week. Playing against him wasn't too much fun, but I tell you what, to watch, he was an absolute gem. Played, like I said, at Glenelg and Hawthorn, a total of 217 games, had a terrible knee injury in that 1989 state game, which no doubt we'll touch on, but an incredible career where he played in a couple of premierships for Hawthorn, the 85-86 for Glenelg, All-Australian, Jack Odie medalist, where he just performed on the big day. Glenelg leading goal kicker in that premiership year of 86. Just an amazing record. Tony Hall, welcome.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Excellent, mate. Excellent. Great to catch up. Firstly, I want to sort of float back to the beginning, mate. Where'd you grow up, and what area, and what high school were you at?
I grew up back in the Glenelg area, so I lived in Parkholme. Went to Ascot Park Primary School. 100 years this year. They've been around.
Hey,
so
unreal.
There's a big shindig on this year. Went to Glengarry High School, which is a retirement village now. And
so you're welcome back.
Getting ready for me. Really ready for that. And then played all my junior footy with
Glenelg.
With Glenelg, and the old squad days, and then through the grades.
Did you play state footy at all? Did you go through the Till Cup system and all that?
Yeah, I played under 16s.
Yes.
We had a great trip to Darwin that year, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And then played Till Cup in Victoria.
Right. Was it Alan Stewart coaching at that stage?
Al was coaching. Yeah. Great coach.
What sort of?
I think you were the year after me. I think.
I reckon I might have been. Yeah. You that probably around 81, wasn't it? Yeah. In your team, what sort of names did you play with that went on to play SANFL or AFL?
Well, I roomed with Mott's.
Oh, not a bad name.
It's not a bad name. But we had I can't remember all the guys who were playing, but at the time, but we played the game in Victoria. We played Princess Park, and we played against, and Dermot Brereton was playing in that game.
Unreal.
I can just remember him kicking a goal from nearly the centre of the ground, torpedo punt, and he was like 16.
Yeah. Gee whiz, and, a few years later you would have been playing with him. It's amazing when those things happen. Well, let's talk about your debut at Glenelg. Everybody remembers their first game. Where was yours and who against?
Gee, my debut was at Glenelg Oval.
Right.
And 83.
Yep.
I can't remember who we playing. Oh, mate, it's 61 now, so I'm starting to struggle with a little bit.
I've got my seniors card. I know what you're talking about.
But one of the things I can remember vividly was I ended up having my appendix out that night.
Oh.
So I came down with appendicitis.
No.
I was at my mate's house straight after the game and had to be rushed to the hospital and was about to burst. So that was my first game. So I missed about the next 8 games of that year.
Wow.
Well,
great story.
I remember Timmy, Tony, because I was a Glenelg supporter. My mum grew up down at the Bay, and so going to watch this group, and you talk about 85, 86, that group, McGuinness, Kernahan, McDermott was one of my favourite players. David Marshall was one of my favourite players, and to see Tony play. You played with a lot of those guys in your juniors, and then you were able to play senior grand finals. Is that right, Tony?
Yeah, so we grew up, Kerners, McDermott, McGuinness. I mean, we grew up playing under 10s, under 12s, under 13s all together. And in fact, we had Kerners' old man was our coach, and McDermott's dad was the team manager for a number of years. So, it was a great period. Tony McGuinness has been someone I've known for my whole life. So our mums were friends, and
unreal.
And we met when we were 4 or 5 years old, and then we played against each other at primary school. We played with each other at Glengarry High, played with each other again at Glenelg, played against each other in the VFL, and then came back together again at the Crows. So, it's been a big journey with Fred.
That's incredible.
Well, and, of course, you would have played and would have been a highlight, I'm sure it is, Tony, to play state footy with those guys and get reunited again.
Oh, amazing. The state footy back in the day, it's good to see it coming back in. I hope that this year wasn't just a one-off. It's a really great phenomenon, the old state footy. It just brings, I think, really good players together, players that don't get to play in, potentially may not play in a grand final, but can play on a big stage and play in a really fast game that just goes 100 miles an hour. Yeah. And I just think state footy is something, and as we know tonight, we've got State of Origin with NRL. That's just embraced by the rugby league community, and we should embrace it as well. It's such a great thing.
It'd be great to get back to those halcyon days. The 85-86 teams and watching them and having played against them in that era too, Tony, you had so many weapons and it was quite phenomenal. Like, people, I think, forget that Stephen Copping was still playing in 85, those incredibly long arms. I was saying to young Sam Tugwell here that Tony Hall was probably known as a third sort of tall forward, and you're barely 6 foot, mate, aren't you? 183, I reckon, or on the dot. But your ability to fly and Copping's long arms and Kernahan running the mark, pretty hard to stop.
Oh, it was amazing playing with Coppo there. I remember in 85. I remember when we were down in the 85 grand final, I'd buy about 5 goals, in the second quarter, and then it was really Coppo that got us back into that. He kicked a couple of goals, some pretty incredible goals, and then Kernes took over from there and kicked 7 for the game. So, but Coppo is just an incredible player to have played with. I mean, he could find you with his passing too. He's an incredible pass. If you just led to Coppo, he hits you right in the chest,
Had the beautiful mustache too, didn't he? It was one of his folklore.
The 70s.
And don't forget the other end. The Stringer boys, did they get hold of you at any stage, Timmy?
Yeah. Both on different occasions.
They didn't miss many. And Scotty Salisbury, you could throw him in there as well.
Scotty was good to me, but Alan, he got me a beauty in the 88 grand final.
Yeah, good. You probably deserved it.
Al got most people a beauty, I think.
Yeah, true.
He did.
That's a good point, Tony. I'm not Robinson Crusoe.
Well, now, Tony, in 80s... can you go, mate?
I think just, the Stringer brothers, when they came to Glenelg, was one of the greatest gets for the club. Yeah. And it really changed the dimension of the Glenelg Footy Club at that time. And, I think it's just the element that we didn't quite have. Yeah, we had Scotty, but then they just strengthened that sort of real hard arm, sort of made teams a little bit wary of us, which was good.
Yeah. Well, there was another set of brothers you would have known, the Gowans boys. They did pretty much similar down at Centrals for about 8 or 9 years as well. In 86, there was no draft back then, Tony, so we've had the mid-season draft last night. There was no draft back in there. You signed the Form 4 as it was back then, and you signed with Hawthorn, and you stayed an extra year and then went over to Hawthorn after that?
Well, he won the Jack Odie in 86,
Yeah, I signed with Hawthorn in 86. It was before the draft, and then I really didn't think I was ready to go at the time, and it was really only my first really good year. 85 was sort of, I was still in a development year, and then 86 was a good year, and I really wanted to have another year before I went over to Victorian. So I signed that. The form was a good way because you could sign, and then if you didn't go, it didn't matter. Like you could stay with the club. You didn't have to go. But I actually did my knee in one of the first night games, Escort Cup games in 87.
Oh, wow.
And missed most of the season of that 87 year. So I came back in the last part of the season. But so then they were a bit worried that they were getting a cut down version. They were getting a version where I wasn't going to be that great. So they were worried, and I remember going over to Hawthorn just at the end of the 87 season and getting a real rundown on my knee to see how it was and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, it turned out all right.
Well, you did.
Till I did it the second time, yeah.
Well, you did it pretty well, mate, because in '88 you played 24 games, you kicked 24 goals and played in a flag alongside some absolute greats. I mean, you played in an unbelievable era with Glenelg, and then you go to Hawthorn and you play with Johnny Platten, Dunstall, Brereton, Tuck, Ayres, all these guys. I mean, you must have been pinching yourself.
Langford.
Yeah, it was a pretty, extraordinary team at the time, and but yeah, it was an interesting team. It was so similar to coming from Glenelg and going to Hawthorn. I sort of felt like I was in a similar club.
Yeah.
They called it the family club at the time, but it was really we had trained down at Glenferrie Oval, small little ground. It was a pretty similar ground to Glenelg Oval, a bit smaller. Small little club rooms. We didn't have the rooms that the facilities they got now. Just a little old change rooms, and it was just a great club. And the players were just really a good team, and still a lot of them really good mates today. Same as Glenelg,
Yeah. Speaking with Tony Hall, champion for Glenelg and Hawthorn, of course, South Australia in that halcyon era. Alan Jeans, everybody speaks very highly of him. I've heard Dermy tell a few good stories about Yabby, but what was he like to you?
Oh, he was always amazing to me. I mean, he was one of those guys that didn't say a lot to you, but when he said something, it mattered. And it meant something. And I remember when I was coming back from my knee injury, and I was around the club, and I was 15 months. I was out, and I remember I was riding my bike a lot, and I was training every day, and I was there, and I was doing things around the ground, trying to be visible, I guess, and part of it. But while you're not, and he never said anything to me for the whole 15 months. And then the week before I was about to play my first reserves game against Collingwood, he came up to me and he just said, "Hawley, I want you in my team."
Wow.
And I that's all he said. And I remember going, it was about 5 o'clock at night. I remember jumping on my bike and going and doing about a 30K ride. Thinking, I'd jump out of my skin for him, to get back there.
Isn't that incredible, Hawley? Yeah. Just thinking about, and Campo's lived it with the feedback that players get post game and everything, and the lists, and when somebody's rehabbing and everything that goes on. What you just described would have been pretty much the era all round. If you were injured, you're on your own, mate. You're on your own, and pretty much it was until you're back for selection. That's when the interest levels pick back up. But yeah, that would have been lonely for you, mate, no doubt. Let's talk about the actual incident. It was that terrible game, the '89 State of Origin game, MCG, muddy as you know what, and your own teammate playing for Victoria, Andy Collins, is the one that does it. Now, knowing Andy, and he's at Port Adelaide now doing some great work down there.
He's a ripper. Andy's a ripper.
He must have felt terrible.
Yeah, I was at Vimy House that night, hospital in Kew, and the first person that I saw was Andy. Right. So he came in to see me, and he was absolutely shattered. Yeah.
Unbelievable, poor bugger there. And it was looked like a normal sort of tackle on the light, but your leg just got caught in the wrong spot?
I think it might have been a bit of a lack of pace, might have been the biggest problem.
It was. You got chased down. You got chased.
Why would you worry about speed when you can fly over the top of everything and take a screamer, mate? Exactly right. Oh, God. You eventually come back to South Australia, and like you said, you sort of finished off at the Crows. At that stage, how was your body treating you?
Yeah, look, I wasn't too bad. I was good in that first year at the Crows. My body was good, and I think it was about round 8 or we were playing Hawthorn, and I went for a mark and came back on my hand, and I snapped the tendon between my thumb and my first finger.
Ooh, nasty.
And that put me out for 8 weeks.
Ow.
And that stuffed me up, when you're at that age at that time, it was pretty hard coming back. So I sort of really struggled after that. And then I guess my body gave up in the second year.
Hey, mate, we always say, where are they now? Where are you living at this very minute?
Well, I'm living a bit all over the place. I have a house in Torquay in Victoria.
Yeah.
That I've been there for 20-odd years, but I'm now spending most of my time in Bali. So I'm here for about 8 months a year.
You got a business or something over there, or?
No, just retired now. I'm just surfing every day, which is good.
Not bad.
And
I'm loving life.
When I'm not, I'm back. Mum's still in Adelaide, so
beautiful.
I spend about 4 months with her each year. So I try and spend as much time there as I can.
How good's that? You're a good man, Hawley. I really appreciate you taking our call and coming on Where Are They Now for Walker. It's just great to walk down that memory lane, mate, and enjoy those great times. And what a career you had, mate. Yeah. With the ups and downs of injury, through that, an amazing career, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That's Tony Hall, Glenelg and Hawthorn champion, and gee whiz, some great stories there. That appendicitis after his debut game for Glenelg, never knew that one. Unbelievable.
Sure, it wasn't a few ouzo and cokes after.
Oh, he didn't even make the Bay Disco.
I tell you what we didn't get to is we always talk about the pockets, the Eddie Betts pocket.
Yeah,
but Tony Hall was the first
freak goal
that they coined the Tony Hall pocket at Footy Park in the State of Origin
because he kicked the most ridiculous goal you've ever seen in your life. I think Graham Campbell nicknamed it that.
Might have, yeah. He would have been commentary at that stage.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is so good. This is SA's biggest cover-up. Walco's mesh pool cover keeps leaves and debris out of your pool all year round, and because it's pulled super taut, never sags, it looks fantastic. Ask Walco today about their mesh pool cover at 7 to 6. Here's traffic.
At Brunel Park, a breakdown just popped up north-south Mudawinnie Torrens Road. Rosewater Housefire causing big delays and road closures. Green Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. We're quite slow. Fullerton Road driving home through Dulwich. And we're quite busy at the moment South Road through Mile End. Camera, Bradley Grove Mitchell Park. Starlight is one of Australia's most trusted children's charities, creating happiness for seriously ill children in hospital. Donate by June 30 at starlight.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 1,500 Fords, 1,200 Holdens, 1,000 Subarus, 800 Isuzus, MGs, BMWs, Mercs, Audis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Hi, this is Ange from Allianz.
My car's been hit. I'm on the side of the highway.
We'll take care of the car. But first, are you okay?
I'm okay.
We know this isn't the call you want to make, but when you do, you'll speak with a team who know exactly what to do next. Is Allianz worth it? I reckon.
Allianz.
Comprehensive car insurance issued by Allianz Australia Insurance Limited. Before buying, read the PDS, go to our website for a PDS and TMD.
Are you aged 18 to 55 and generally healthy? Here's your opportunity to make a meaningful impact. CMAX is looking for people like you to help trial a potential treatment for psychosis associated with dementia and Parkinson's disease. If eligible, you'll spend 4 nights at CMAX, attend 1 follow-up visit, complete 1 phone call, and get paid for your time. Your involvement could help improve treatment options for thousands of Australians. Ready to advance healthcare? Apply at cmax.com.au.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
At The Advertiser, we help you get ahead of the issues affecting your family. From cost of living and health to schools and local news. We're for Adelaide, we're for South Australia, and we're for you.
At Kia, the Tasman Ute is ready to move with exceptional value across all 2025 models. Starting from $59,990 drive away for the Kia Tasman X-Line Dual Cab. Yes, now $59,990 drive away. All backed by Australia's first and still best 7-year warranty. Hurry, now's the time to make your move. Terms and conditions apply. Visit your local Kia dealership now. The Kia Tasman, ready to move.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
At 4 minutes to 6, Best of SA is not too far away on the 12th of June at Adelaide Oval. We'd love to get you there. We've got a few tickets to give away, and we also have a great prize, all thanks to Complete Comfort, who is SA's biggest range of adjustable beds and recliners, matched with expert advice and genuine care tailored to you. If you'd like to win 2 tickets to Best of SA dinner and a Contour memory foam pillow, 8223 0055, you can win right now.
Yeah, good call there. Let's take your calls. Bradley at Port Wakefield. G'day, Bradley.
G'day, Timmy. How you doing?
Oh, excellent, my friend. Just had a good chat with Tony. All enjoyed that.
Yeah, I just like to bring up a incident that happened around about 1987.
Yeah.
Me and my mates, we went to the Clare Complex Disco.
Oh, here we go.
Clare
Back in the day.
Complex Disco. I'm loving it already, Brad.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and this was a bit later on in the night, and we were all drinking, would you believe, Ouzo and Coke.
Right.
And one of my mates got upset with somebody who was standing next to him and ordering a drink or whatever. I don't know the details, and I'm staying away from the details. But he goes, I had to go up this bloke next to him, and I'm going, hey, Davo, settle down, mate, settle down. And I turn around, and there's Tony Hall.
Ah.
And not just Tony Hall, but half the Glenelg Footy Club.
So your mate nearly walked into it.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so everybody knows a Davo, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Bought him an Ouzo Coke and calmed him down.
Very nice.
Yeah, keep it quiet.
Love it, Bradley. Good story, mate. Geez, Ouzo was big back then.
Shocking.
I didn't like it. I never took to it.
Do you remember a guy called Tony Lynn?
Yeah, Tony Lynn. Oh, I got a story about Tony Lynn.
Well, there's plenty of stories of Tony Lynn, not that we could share on air.
Because he played here at Centrals and then he went over there and played at Culm.
So I was on the locker next to him. So he was 15, I was 16. But we always head out on Saturday night, and he was one of those. We used to get the drink cards back then.
Yes, they still exist, Campo.
Yeah, but
do they?
But the spirits, believe it or not, were $5 back then. So you used to get a $100 drink card.
Wow.
With 20.
So
you get that 20. Today. So he'd walk past. He's one of those. But you could smell him coming because he'd be double parked both times with Ouzo and Coke, and you could smell him coming my way. And I hate it because it's like
the aniseed.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's strong. It's a very what would you say, a traditional Greek spirit, and it is strong as my memories of it, unfortunately, was a friend being very ill on it, and me trying to help clean him up. And I've got to say this because Tony, my apologies, but he did help me when I had a similar experience on Masala. It's cooking wine.
Making very good decisions, clearly.
That's great.
We're going to talk
drink responsible
mid-season draft next with Sam for GM of Footy, Matt Doldig.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 11 tonight, cloudy tomorrow 18. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The sale of the Whyalla Steelworks has progressed to a short list of 2 bidders as the process enters its final stages. Brisbane-based M Resources and Jindal Steel, based in New Delhi, are the 2 final bidders after 70 initial expressions of interest. The successful bidder is set to be announced within months after Sanjeev Gupta's failed GFG alliance was placed in administration last year. Premier Peter Malinauskas visited Whyalla today for the announcement and says the steelworks will change.
We're very excited about a massive recapitalisation
of the steelworks that will transform this blast furnace into an entirely new operation in terms of how steel is made using gas more than metallurgical coal. It's a very exciting proposition.
Heartbreak for a Rosewater woman. Her home of 30 years was gutted by fire today. The blaze on Grand Junction Road took hold late morning. The cause and damage bill is yet to be determined. Flight Training Adelaide returned to the skies today. The flight school had been grounded since the fatal crash at Parafield Airport last month. The 29-year-old flight instructor and 24-year-old student pilot were killed. An ATSB investigation is continuing. Well, the temporary reduction in the fuel excise is being credited for bringing down inflation and may keep interest rates on hold. More from Michael Packey.
Australia's inflation rate has come down by 0.4%, easing consumer prices to 4.2% for the year to April. Halving the fuel excise has mainly contributed to the result, which has flowed to smaller increases in the cost of housing, transportation and food. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says it's a welcome reprieve.
We've had an inflation challenge in our economy which is made worse by the war in the Middle East.
The opposition's Tim Wilson argues the only way inflation will come down is if the government cuts its own spending.
Inflation persists. It started before the Iran crisis.
About 90% of economists believe the latest CPI data will encourage the Reserve Bank to keep interest rates on hold.
Now turning to 5AA sport, the Crows returned to the track today. Isaac Rankin didn't take part in the session. Adelaide have the bye this round. Their next game is Thursday week against the Cats. Essendon's search for its next coach is beginning with James Hird declaring he'd love the job. The Premiership captain apologising again for his role in their decline during the supplement saga and promising he's learned from the debacle. Essendon icon Kevin Sheedy has reiterated his position in backing Hird to return to the Bombers.
I think that if you can let the past be gone, I think that there's not a lot of great possible coaches out there. So the coaching sort of ranks, and it's very difficult to find a great coach.
All AFL players will wear black armbands for Neil Danaher this round, with a moment of silence to be observed prior to each match. And Game 1 in the State of Origin series is being played tonight in Sydney. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Evening there. Still got road closures at Rosewater from that house fire earlier today. Grand Junction Road near Margaret Terrace. We're quite busy for the drive home. Anzac Highway with the Marion Road intersection and slow Fullerton Road at the Glen Osmond Road intersection just near the Arkabar. Camera, Main Avenue, Fruiville. Tonight, Dan Murphy's Don't Match Prices. They beat them. Get Great Northern Original 375ml cans, 24 case, $59 for members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight, cloudy for your Thursday, 18. Friday, showers increasing 19. Saturday, showers and 17. Right now, it's 15 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, no new clues, but the search continues 8 months on since 4-year-old Gus Lamont disappeared. A Rosewater home destroyed by a fast-moving blaze. And a surprise fall in inflation has all but ruled out further interest rate rises. Don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 now as soon as you're home.
Do you have a concern about your aged care? If you have feedback or concerns, you can talk to your provider. They must respect your right to choice, dignity and feeling safe. You can also talk to the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission. We help resolve issues and take action when needed. Safe, quality care is your right. Find out more at agedcarequality.gov.au or call 1800 951 822.
The Mazda end of financial year event is on now. Get a great deal on select models like the exhilarating plug-in hybrid CX-60 and the 7-seat plug-in hybrid CX-80. Don't miss out. Ends June 30.
Out Outdoor living is part of the Australian way of life. A quiet coffee in the morning or a backyard barbecue with friends on the weekend. Alpha Industries helps create those spaces to relax and entertain with fully welded verandas, carports, sheds and studios designed to suit your home. From modern curved styles to classic heritage gables, everything is custom built using genuine Australian blue scope steel for strength and durability. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. We've grown from 3 staff at the beginning to 30, 40 staff and a number of contractors now. And radio's definitely played a big part of that. We've been working with FIVEAA for 5 or 6 years now. And in that time, we've seen a lot of businesses come and go in our industry. And I think that's a great example of people having a go, short periods of time, not happy, leave. And for us, that longevity has enabled us to have a really great relationship with the audience. So when we meet someone that's a FIVEAA customer, they feel like they know us and we feel like we know them, and it makes for a really great experience for everyone involved.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit fiveaa.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot. You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot. The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
7 minutes after 6 on this Wednesday night with Campo sitting in for Rowie this evening. Tomorrow will be the Excelsior Hotel, so come join us tomorrow. They've had a real refurb. It looks fantastic. It's going to be a good show. So Thursday from 4 tomorrow,
yes,
come join us down at the Excelsior Hotel. But let's talk some mid-season draft.
No, absolutely. We're going to go to the SANFL Executive General Manager, Matt Doldig. Matty, welcome.
Timmy, thanks for having me on.
Hey, mate, it's a contentious one, isn't it, for everybody in the SANFL and for the players and coaches. You feel excited for the player, the opportunity and the like, but it's another thing that you have to deal with, I suppose, as a SANFL club to go, I don't know that I can replace 3 of my best coming out.
Yeah, look, it's really mixed emotions, to be honest, and it is over the last few years. You're so wrapped for the young guys getting an opportunity, and we went away just last week with Lucas, Max, these guys, and Caleb to WA playing state footy, and for them to be able to live out their dreams, how exciting is that for them? And I think it actually, while we lost the state game, I think this number of players that we're getting taken in the drafts just underpins the quality of the competition. So some fantastic stuff there. But then the other side, the Eagles are working through today how they're going to keep their premiership hopes alive, which they're a great club, they will, but to take 3 key pillars out of that side in the middle of the year, no ability to replace them is a real challenge.
When it first came in, Matt, were you guys ever consulted by the AFL to say, listen, this is what we're going to bring in this mid-season draft, it could affect you or the like, or were you just blindsided by it?
I wouldn't call it consultation. We probably just advised it was coming in.
Yeah.
Early days, we were really strong against it. We thought there were better ways to do it. There's players that get identified before the season starts at the end of the previous season that are on the list that aren't getting games. So we thought there was enough talent across the 18 clubs to manage a mid-season trade or whatever the case may be. Look, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, so we have to manage it as best we can, and we've sort of turned it towards a positive for our competition where we can. We sort of average about 35% of the mid-season draft pool year in, year out. So players are coming to South Australia, or young players that miss that opportunity, young South Australians are getting that opportunity at a later time. So we're spinning it to the positive. I spoke with Sam Jacobs this morning, and he's just pumped. He's pumped for his program, the opportunity that's going to present him, talking to players in the future, and just wrapped for players that he spent a lot of time developing previous to this year. They're going to get their opportunity. So overall, it's a frustrating draft, but some great opportunity comes from it.
We had some feedback, on text and the like, and saying, can the SANFL make people sign contracts where they don't participate in the mid-season draft and the like? That would have a counterproductive result, would it not, Matt, as far as players not wanting to come and play here or maybe go to other competitions that they are open to mid-season draft? Because I would imagine, again, it goes back to that individual wanting to play at the highest level.
That's right, yeah. No, we can't do that. Trying to stop a player going to the next level is not something we would want to be participating in. And to be honest, some of the players that have been taken in mid-season drafts have come here for that reason.
Right.
Trying to get themselves onto an AFL list or back onto an AFL list. Now, our view is that can happen after the season and right up until March. There's plenty of windows for that, so we'd prefer not to have the mid-season draft. But, it's something we'll support while it's in.
Matty, the $10,000 compensation is the one that I guess we're all trying to scratch our head around. How do they come up with that figure? And if there was a figure, what do you think the clubs would probably like to be asking for? Because as you just mentioned, it's not easy in the middle of May to then go and offer another player from another interstate or another club to come and play.
Yeah, look, I don't think there was any rhyme or reason behind the number. It was just a round number that was introduced back in 2019 that hasn't increased over the last 6 or 7 years. So we lobby for that to increase, and we would probably double. Back once upon a time when a player got drafted, that club used to receive $25,000. And that was for a young 17, 18-year-old coming through the system. So to lose a player that you've invested time, money, resource, in some cases relocating them from interstate, 10,000 sort of just scratches the surface, because then you have to go and spend it all over again to try and develop and find the next person that might again get taken in the mid-season. So there's a couple of things that we lobby with the AFL. One, we'd prefer it not to be there, but if it is, let's compensate the clubs properly for the work that they've done in the pathway. And two, let's give the players some real surety when they're going to the AFL list. At the moment, they can be anywhere between 6 and 18-month contracts that the players sign. We think they should be 18. If you're going to take them, give them an opportunity to be on the list and get a whole pre-season under their belt.
Yeah, I agree with that, Matty, 100%, because, there's no guarantee that they're going to play when they go to that club anyway. So you'd want to be playing at the highest level. So just back to the, I guess, recruiting though, Matty, how difficult is it then for clubs? I mean, it's hard enough as it is. I was talking to someone in that field a couple of weeks ago around trying to engage players, because it's not just recruiting them, it's trying to find them homes, it's trying to find them jobs, those sort of things, as well as moving interstate.
Yeah, look, it's getting harder and harder. The clubs are telling us, well, for all those reasons you just said, like employment's really important. Obviously, at SANFL level, all the guys and girls need to have full-time jobs. So to come to South Australia, find a job and also find housing as well, which is a challenge for everyone. So
correct.
There's a lot that goes into the mix in trying to get these players from interstate and also, to be honest, to continue coming through the pathway for young South Australians, which we're clearly passionate about, but our competition is what it is because of the mix of recruits we're able to complement our South Australians with. So, yeah, look, it's getting tougher. So when you get a good one, and then get them taken sometimes 6 months later, and just get $10,000 check. It is a bit bittersweet, to be honest.
Yeah, well, let's hope that they can come to their senses and compensate the clubs a bit better than that. That's just plain unacceptable as far as I'm concerned, that number. So let's get that right. Matty, just while we got you, the state program, we know we lost both state games, and I know last year I did the right thing and fell on the sword and sacked myself as chairman of selectors so that we could get a better result, but it didn't happen. I'm just wondering, you guys, I know, are into that and having a look at it. Do you think we're a victim of playing 2 state games in the one season, within a few months, and the other states like Victoria only play the one and WA only play the one, and we're the second? I can imagine players maybe in clubs going, gee, I'd love them to have a week off, and of course playing 2, you don't get that break if you are like a Tom Lewis.
No, that's right. Well, first of all, look, keep your phone handy. We might be on the phone again to get you back into that position. But yeah, look, it is challenging. So, look, we didn't want to give up the opportunity to, one, play a close gather round, play against the Big V again.
Absolutely.
But what we have done is we then need to butter up 5 weeks later and play against WA. So it's a challenge. So that those guys, Tommy Lewis as an example, and many others, they're going from pre-season. There's no bye now, and for them, until sort of round 14, 15. So they're looking for a spell. Some of the older guys, Yaleem McBean, Matty Allen, yep, I completely understand them going, look, I can't commit to that second game. I need to get a rest in. I've got an important home and away season to get through. So the results, clearly we're not happy with. We expect to win when we play state football. But as I said earlier, some of these guys, Max Beattie, Caleb May, they got an opportunity to fit their wares on state football, and then were drafted into the AFL system. So there was some benefit that came of it. So we need to be careful about what we look at and review and whether we continue to play both. But you could certainly say now, after the last 2 years, playing both having an impact on our performance and selection. So we need to unpack it all, because not only us, but South Australia expects us to deliver when on the state stage.
Yeah, spot on. But hey, keep the good work up, Matty. We'll keep in touch. And yes, a reinstatement could come on.
His phone's, he's got it out. He might text you, Matty. Be careful. In the break, we're about to head to a break. He might just...
Be careful for what you wish for.
Hey, Matty, thanks for your time, mate.
Close by Campo as well.
Yeah. Got him in one. Well done, mate. Appreciate your time, Matty. Thanks for that.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye.
Matthew Dolding, Sample GM of football, just explaining some of the things with the mid-season draft, and it's one of those things. It's a bit bittersweet, first of all. And imagine Josh Franco, his son gets picked up. It's one of his better midfielders that he's lost, but his son gets picked up, and so you're very excited about that. But as the coach, you'd be thinking, oh, gee, that's a blow that I probably didn't need, and I'm like, and what am I going to get for it? 10 grand?
Well, it's twofold, isn't it? Because the Eagles are losing their best key pillars, and Josh is losing a really good player, and they're not winning as much as they want.
Winning as much.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Hang around with us. It's 18 after 6. In the studio next, a guest who brings us an incredible racing story.
The FIVEAA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. He's been the grunt in the Crows midfield engine for years.
Strong mark there by Crouch.
And now, Matt Crouch brings his footy smarts to the FIVEAA Sports Show each week with Rowie and Timmy G. When you use ACET Transport Solutions, you're choosing to support local sporting clubs. Don't just send it, ACET.
End of financial year sales can be a bit of a puzzle, so make the smart move with Optus and save $600 on the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra with a device payment plan plus your chosen SIM plan costs. Shop more smart deals on phones, internet and more, all powered by the super-fast Optus network. Ends July 5. Discounted Galaxy S26 Ultra 256GB model is $1,599. Network speeds may vary. Check website for coverage. Terms apply.
Planning your next event? Choose a venue where everything comes together. Adelaide Convention Centre. It's where your vision and our expertise come together, where creative cuisine meets extraordinary productions, and excitement and innovation combine in a space that is truly world-class. From corporate gatherings to grand celebrations, we make every occasion unforgettable. Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre and start planning your next event today.
Pancreatic cancer numbers are outrageous. Australia's third deadliest cancer, it receives less than 2% of Australia's total cancer funding. More than 13 Australians are diagnosed each day, yet only 14% of those people will live longer than 5 years. And perhaps worst of all, life expectancy for those with pancreatic cancer has barely changed since 1986. That's 40 years. Give hope and help fund medical research. Donate now at daretohope.com.au.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because conferences and events sound different with Discovery Events. With modern facilities, standout catering and accommodation in 2 premier locations in South Australia, Adelaide Hills and Victor Harbour. Sound great? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. And right now, you don't have to wait. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year unlocked event is on right now. So you can jump in early and get first pick from a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next day servicing. No waiting, no missing out. End of financial year unlocked event ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It's 21 minutes after 6. Jump on the YouTube and Facebook live stream here at 5AA Socials. You'll be able to watch the program live. We have a special guest in studio.
Look, we certainly do. And an amazing luncheon that's happening this Saturday at the Morpheville Racecourse. It's the Cystic Fibrosis Race Day Luncheon. But better than that, we've got the event organiser here, Emma Dowdle. Now, Emma, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Emma, you yourself are a person that lives with cystic fibrosis. So where did the idea for the lunch come from? But better than that, where did the idea for getting a horse called 65 Roses come from? I love that.
Well, I'm very optimistic, and where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah. So 65 Roses came about. I mean, my husband, Travis Dowdle, is one of the leading trainers in the state at the moment, and bless him, like a good husband, he knows.
Well, you tell him I remember him as a jockey.
Back in his semi-prime, I'd say. I wouldn't be jumping on a horse anytime soon these days. But happy wife, happy life, right? So
correct.
Very passionate I am in raising awareness for cystic fibrosis. I live with it. We know firsthand how it impacts my life and our lives. And part of the fundraising initiative, I thought, well, how do we combine our work, racing, with cystic fibrosis? Now, May is CF Awareness Month. So last year we gave it a crack, and then we had such a great time. Everyone loved it, and it was a real demand to come back this year. And, 4 weeks ago, I thought, right, we've got to get onto it. We had people coming over from Sydney and whatnot to come to the day. So it's going to be a massive day, very exciting, so we can talk more about that. But 65 Roses, the horse, I said to Trav, how do we get a horse involved? So there's a really special initiative around the horse itself. So anyone that is in on the horse, 5% of their prize money will go directly to Cystic Fibrosis South Australia. And Trav has kindly donated, put up that he will donate 50% of his trainer prize money to CFSA. So she's a feisty little thing. She's a 2-year-old up at our property at the moment in Ankita. She's got the CF. She doesn't obviously have CF.
No,
she's a horse.
No, that's good news.
But she's very good news. But she's feisty.
I'll back a few with CF.
Yeah, you might have a few duds. I feel like time has changed, right? This is why I'm doing this. The duds are out and the wins are in. So
give us the story behind 65 Roses, because people will go, well, what's 65 Roses got to do with cystic fibrosis?
Yes, so it comes from many years ago. A young child was not able to pronounce his sister's diagnosis, and he said it as 65 Roses. So
it's a beautiful story.
65 Roses has become the emblem, and really cool name. One of our owners, his granddaughter has cystic fibrosis, and she would like the horse to be called Rosie. So horses have two names, right?
Yeah, true.
They got their stable name,
and then
they've got their race name, their stage name, I like to call it.
Yes,
so,
that's true.
Rosie in the barn, and 65 Roses. We're working on getting that across the line at the moment.
Need more ownership?
We do have some shares left. There's not much available, but we definitely do have a few shares. Look, it's a really great initiative because, again, you get a day at the races. There's exclusive owner access things, and because it's quite a niche, special horse ownership to be a part of with this group, there's quite a few extra, bonuses in there. So definitely, reach out if anyone is interested in even owning a hoof, doesn't have to be a large amount, a couple of percent, and you're in, and it's a good day out.
Oh, and she's got the nickname Rosie.
Yes.
Which is quite cute. Now, she hasn't run yet, so when will she debut? And Harry Coffey is obviously going to try and be the jockey. And he's living with cystic fibrosis as well, which is a great story.
Harry Coffey is an incredible jockey based in Victoria. So I engaged with Harry and was like, I need you to do me a favour. I want you to debut this horse that I'm potentially getting for us that Trav's training. And Harry has agreed to debut it. Now, I have to stay out of some of this conversation because, that's not my job to. Trav says, leave the good stuff to the trainer and the jockey managers.
Well, you did say happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. I kind of got to repay it, right?
Yeah,
Sorry. Does Trav know this is happening?
Well, he doesn't know a lot. He just sign the dotted line, darling.
I was just about to say, seems like you're running with the cup at the moment.
Hey, literally, let's hope we are. Let's hope,
He'll know if it wins and it coughs up 50% of his fee.
Well, he'll know because I won't get a parcel, or will I?
That'd be so funny. That is gold. So this is the first luncheon that you've
This
been
is
able
our
to put,
second. We're going to be doing it for the next, however long, but every year throughout CF Awareness Month. So it's really important and special. But as far as when she's going to race, look, she's only 2 years old. So as far as training and whatnot, I can tell you she's a pretty horse. She's got energy, and she's actually anyone that's jumped on her and ridden her, as far as the jockeys go and working, love her. She's feisty, which I feel like those with CF, we're feisty and go-getters, and she's one. Yeah, she's definitely one to watch.
In good hands, no doubt, with your lovely husband there, Travis, training it as well. But $65,000 is the fundraising goal.
It is. I'm optimistic, but I thought reach for the stars, and I'd love to raise $65,000. CF South Australia are a small non-for-profit organisation here in SA, and they help provide services and support. I'm currently people can't see me, but I've got a needle in at the moment. I'm undergoing treatment. I don't look sick, but CF having the services are able to help me with even simple things like getting a nebulizer, providing financial support and emotional support, even things like paying for car parking at the hospital. It all adds up when you're unwell. And hey, look, if the boss of the house is down, then the rest is down. So we need all the support we can get.
Many, many moons ago, this would have been a diagnosis that wouldn't have got a lot of people to adulthood. We're getting a lot better. We're living much fuller lives and the like, as we spoke about off air. Of course, Chris Davies ran Port Adelaide's head of footy now. Carlton's head of footy has been living, had an outstanding cricket career as well. It's sort of like you see these living people with CF and you go, so we must be advancing, but we've obviously got a long way to go. I
think one of the big things with this is that we didn't plan for people to be alive at this age. So for me, my life expectancy was 37, but I'm 38 now and living a very healthy life. So medical advancement, yes, there's things that are helping us, but this is why this day is so important. There are people still every day, 1 in every 4 days a baby in Australia is born with CF.
So we'd like to find out why, how, and
support it and maybe cure it one day. We'll see.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Love it. Hey, Emma, thanks very much for coming in, firstly. Look forward to the luncheon on Saturday. It's going to be at Morpheville, of course, 30th of May. It's a big one. But if you want to get onto the horse itself and maybe buy a share in it, where do we got to go?
Jump onto our website, Travis Daddle Racing, and just shoot us an email. I'll also point out there is, we have kindly got available, if anyone listening wants to join us, we've got a double pass to give away. So first caller, I'm going to call it, guys.
Do it.
First caller, give us a ring.
0055.
Yes. 0055. There you go. What you'll win is a 3-course luncheon, 5 hours drink package, race day exclusives. But yeah, I'm gonna call it. First caller in. Yeah. Let's go.
I like it. Hello, we've got Scott on the line. Scott,
my son's ringing me right now. He's hearing from Melbourne.
He's heard it from Melbourne. He wants to get in on it. That is a sensational cause and a great initiative. I love the 65 Roses horse getting percentage of that and their winnings as well.
Yes, exactly.
Would be sensational. Good luck with the luncheon, Emma.
Thank
you very much for
Thanks
coming
for having me. Thanks.
Good luck with it all. I think you've got a future as a radio anchor as well, Emma. Yeah. 29 after 6.
Rowie and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
The ice is bright.